dwarf fight.
Welcome, everyone. I'm gonna go eat real quick.
It's the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Super Mario Brothers Super Show!
Somewhere in the world, my friend is now very angry with me, and he doesn't know why.
Super Mario Super Show!
If Numerius ever learns that, Lucian and Alexander are a thing, he'll just be like, "Aw, that's cute. How are you gonna fit both of your egos in the same building?"
I was surprised I could fit it in the same room or the same conversation.
Oh, God.
Like they have a big enough ego to fill a kingdom.
The funny thing is neither of us are particularly egotistical.
The truth is that Alexander keeps his ego in the psychic plane, or whatever.
He has to have an entire plane for his ego.
I couldn't help it.
Everyone has off my motherfucking plane.
Technically, everyone has their own plane of existence. That's an ego.
Yeah.
It's called a dreamscape.
Or if your ego, it's called ego. And then things get weird, because you did stupid things, and you fucked up.
Or unless you're the imp, which has no true name, therefore does not have a dreamscape, right?
Yes. Which means it lives in constant agony, being unable to dream.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I wouldn't consider that agony.
So, fun fact, actually the ability to dream is one of the things that keeps humans sane.
Well, then I'm fucking crazy.
No, you can't remember your dream.
You don't. The difference is you will always dream. You don't remember whether you or what you dreamt about. Is how it works.
But humans without the ability to dream, that's one of the telltale signs of being a sociopath.
The ability to dream is actually important to your mind's ability to reconcile events that have happened.
I don't understand the difference between just not dreaming and not remembering dreams.
So your brain goes through the process of dreams. They are something that your brain does to decompress itself and defragment itself, basically. When you don't remember them, your brain still goes through that process. You, as a conscious being, don't recall the process as vividly.
But not dreaming means your brain does not go through that process, which can cause certain synapses to break and cause you to be a psychopath.
Oh.
Basically, it's like, if you're, say, an athlete and, you don't stretch before you do your things, it's going to cause problems for you. But, there are some athletes that just, stretching is so just inherently, ingrained into their routine that they just, shut off their brain during it. They just don't have that period of time while they're stretching. It's not just, it's not something they ever think about. So they still do it, but they don't, actively form, real memories doing it. Basically, it's autopilot. Oh god, leave me alone.
And the reason why you don't remember your dreams is because nothing important enough has happened in your dreams for you to remember it.
Yep.
There hasn't been a significant enough event that your brain has to reconcile for you to remember it. Weirdly enough, I used to not dream at all, and then, the day I proposed to my fiance, I dreamt for the first time in 10 years. Because my brain was like, the fuck did I just do? Stuff like that. Oh, it's a Tyler.
Yo. Oh, I should close this map of the Three Kingdoms. Mostly because I don't need it open.
So
Also because metagaming.
I am hyped to watch Sin kick the teeth out of an angry dwarf.
And if somehow this dwarf beats Sin, then we get to watch an angry gore stag and an angry dragon kill a dwarf.
That's not how that works.
Gorsteg doesn't understand custom.
No! Apparently he doesn't have the same intelligence as Nihilus.
Look,
Oh, this is the
Gorsteg
wrong
can
freaking
figure
map.
shit out. There's a difference between knowing customs and understanding inherently custom.
I mean, that's fair.
Here's also a tip for you, Logic. You can be smart and still be an idiot.
Just being
Like-
a human.
Imagine someone learns basic English and then for the rest of their lives lives in the forest. They get into a city. What happened? They look really weird and idiotic and stupid. They can't figure out a crosswalk. What an idiot, kind of thing.
I mean, I guess?
He doesn't understand basic logic to you guys.
If it's any consolation, I don't understand logic either.
Yeah, that's
AKA,
true.
common sense is subjective.
Yes.
All right. So, for those of you joining us right now, whether in VOD or in... oh yeah, I forgot everyone has access to that.
Wait, what? Wait, I'm confused. What?
You can impersonate any token you have access to. I forgot everyone has access to the treasury.
It's a
So I have-
token?
Well, yes.
I have a question.
Wow.
The thing that Sin got during downtime,
Yes.
is that at all voluntary on Numerius's part?
Technically, yes. You can choose to not grant it.
Alright. Then I will remove the quotes around a word.
But yes. So, for those of you joining us, now that I'm not derailed by something that just happened, you're joining us for something special, which is between each session, when story permits it, there are things we do with the downtime that the characters have. Usually just in text exchanges between people. But right now, you're getting a glimpse at one that's important enough to involve the whole party, for lack of a better word. The group has been, you were not even close. The group has been at the Malday Fortress for a few hours when one of their own, Synthenis, was called out by a particular dwarf. Dwarf goes by a dwarven name that I'm not currently trying to find again.
Dwarf.
John McManus.
He goes by the name of Orvruk Malday, and he is the Hammerer for the Malday Fortress. He has seen the armor that Sin is wearing, and has called her out, challenging her to a battle to prove that she deserves to wear the armor. It is a duel between the two of them within the Arena of Honor to prove that she is worthy of the armor. And with that,
Basically, for Dragon Age fans, it's the proving.
yeah, basically. Not that I actually know what that is.
It's an arena pit for
Proving
dwarves
is
to fight
basically-
for honor.
Yeah, it's an arena where dwarves fight for honor, and I believe
Their ancestors.
every time you end up in there, it's basically a, hey, fuck you, fight me.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yes, he has challenged her and insulted her honor, claiming that she is not worthy of wearing the armor. And so this is where we begin the first part of tonight's session, sort of in between last session and the actual session. So I will copy your tokens over to a map It's called Dwarven Arena of Combat.
Why the fuck are we? There we go. That's fixed.
Hang on. I just noticed something. Is Gorstag's token flipped to the left?
Wow! Actually noticed.
No, you want to know why I noticed?
Why?
I noticed.
It took forever.
The question mark was backwards.
Yes, the question mark is backwards when you do that.
I've had it that way for like 4 sessions.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, fuck, that's amazing. Alright, I'll put it back now.
It's just
I kind of wish it lasted longer. Like maybe it's like the last session.
That would have been amazing.
Like that would have been. Ian, you would not have had a great perception score.
so. Here's the thing: when I copy tokens and paste them, I tab out instantly and start working on other things. So I had never caught that before because I'm working like when the session is going, I'm working on so many different things that I don't notice these things, and I'm not like actively looking at your tokens. I'm going through so many different steps because right now we have this lull at the beginning. I actually had a chance to notice that.
Damn.
That's incredible. I love it.
Let's also grab Ellie's token, which is comedically out of date.
So I'm gonna say right now, you get bonus points if you grab him by the beard.
Oh no, that's not a good.
I saw you switch it that time, Sophie.
I didn't switch it.
I saw someone switch it that time.
Oh, you switched it back. I was gonna switch it back, and then I saw it back. I was like, oh shit.
So,
I'm gonna have Gorstag be here,
all right.
and if there's a railing,
Oh my.
his axes are dug into it, and he's gripping them very tightly to keep himself standing right where he is.
All right. There is, in fact, a railing. But the dwarf has entered his location. There are no gladiatorial viewers other than yourselves, and a dwarf that is standing back here. He doesn't have a token, and he doesn't need a token, who is serving as the officiate for this match. Orevruck has entered the chamber and is standing at the far side and is currently gripping his own lucerne hammer. He's clad in his mighty dwarven plate mail and is currently eyeing you up and down.
And has arrows poking out of him.
He's got plate mail, you say?
Yes.
Which is basically full mail? Or full plate?
Yes, it's basically full plate.
No, she would not.
What is the good Lynn beer?
Sin walks out much the same as him, actually, considering she has the same looking armor, probably, and also a lucerne hammer. What's his attitude like?
Right now, he seems very in the moment of the business. He is grasping his weapon, and he is currently in the I'm a dwarf and I'm about to go into battle mode.
So kind of quiet, somber, maybe quietly
Quiet,
seated.
somber, and he's set his feet for the battle stance.
Alright. Sin will assume her own and take a deep breath.
The dwarf in the corner will say, "All right, any final words from either of you before this begins?"
Final word sounds awfully grim.
Well, the dwarf that's officiating is about to say something before Orevrock will say, well, all I'll say is that you need to be proving your Ani, Missy. Oh, wow. I fucked that up
Ani,
so bad.
Missy?
Honor, Missy. Before your...
Ani, okay.
So, I think you can do that? Masquerade around as a dwarf? I'll see if you're a real dwarf. He sets his foot into the stance, raising the lucerne hammer and preparing.
All right. Sin will brace herself.
Alright.
Would that have given her enough time to actually brace?
Yes.
Oh god, that is like a little... You just rolled a fucking
He
20,
rolled a
damn.
natural 20.
He sure did.
Home field advantage. Wolf.
So let's chalk it up to that. After a moment's pause, and the dwarf in the corner says, begin. Your opponent,
Sprints as far as he can and makes it here.
sort of technically,
Actually, you wouldn't be wrong.
he
If you were
hoists
sprinting,
the
he'd be
weapon.
able to go 40.
Yeah.
No, if
He
you don't-
hefts his weapon and begins repositioning it so it drags along the stone floor as he's going, creating sparks, and will in fact charge.
All right, Sin will try to skewer him on the lucerne hammer for ×2 damage.
Alright.
I don't believe that would hit,
Nope.
considering full play.
Nope.
He is charging.
That's true.
Yeah, but does he have any dex modifier? He has one dex modifier, it misses.
He either has +1 or -1, depending on stuff that he has for...
Dwarves don't get a -1 to dex.
No, depending on what he has for initiative bonus.
That will hit.
He has a +5.
You dude.
He takes the hit right to his torso, and he does sort of stop a little, arresting some of his momentum, but he goes in for the swing still anyway. This is going to... Oh, is that a special attack action? It might be. He might not be able to do that.
Can you not make special attack actions if you're lanced?
No, he didn't get lance. She braced for the charge.
Okay.
No, he's charging, so he might not actually be able to
No,
do it.
you need either a special talent or feat for it.
Oh yeah, Brutal Strike is a special attack action. So ignore everything after the damage for this one,
All
as he
right.
comes in swinging up the hammer from the ground.
So only 11 damage.
That hits.
Yep.
So
Did
with
we-
the uppercut, she staggers back just a bit and falters, but she immediately resumes her stance, readying for herself for another strike.
Okay. That is unfortunately all of the actions he has.
She is going to drag her lucerne hammer across the ground too, igniting it. And after spinning, she'll slam it into his arm with as much strength as she can.
That's a
Nope.
lot of strength.
Jesus.
Bye bye, arm.
Oh boy.
I don't think it confirms.
Oh my god, hold on.
There's no way, man.
So you want to know why there is a way?
How?
He's using Berserker Sphere. And he just charged.
Oh.
Man, that Berserker Sphere is not used. Is not.
What are you talking
Very
about?
useful.
It's quite useful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
gives
it-
temporary hit points.
It's extremely useful, especially if you don't consider about, or if you don't care about AC.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
That will confirm. He will take double damage from it.
So 21 points of damage.
Yeah, as he comes in.
Wait, I thought
His-
fire was multiplied.
No, there's a special property to multiply the elemental damage on a critical called Flaming Burst.
Oh, okay.
He takes the hit. His stance was just wide open on the left side after that charge. It's a devastating hit.
Does his arm break?
If it does, he seems to be fighting through the pain right now.
Okay.
But the armor definitely has a huge dent in it where he did catch the hammer too.
Yerp.
Too bad dent is not a status in this.
She'll 5-foot step back.
Okay. He will 5-foot step up and will perform his special attack action in an attempt to batter Synthenis. Fortunately, the attack will go very wide. He's still a bit off kilter from that hit he just took. And that will be the end of his turn.
Using the momentum from dodging the hit, she'll ignite her weapon again, and this time go for the leg. These aren't actually called shots, but
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, this time he's corrected himself enough that he brings his own Lucerne hammer down in time to block it, preventing the attack from sweeping his legs.
alright. This time she will step forward.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
As she steps forward, he will have his weapon in hand, and for a moment, a brief glint of a dwarven smile will play across his face as he does so. This will be at -2 as he strikes you with his Lucerne hammer.
Oof.
This is also a special attack action.
How
Yep,
is it the
that'll
same
hit.
roll? Okay.
That's a 22. That's not a 24.
Okay.
But that's why I said at a -2. If I announce the minus, it's the macro doesn't factor it in, and I will need a Fortitude save.
13.
Unfortunately, you will be staggered for 2 rounds, meaning you can only take 1 action and a 5-foot step with free action.
Alright.
I mean, that's all she's been doing, so.
Is that are swift actions counted?
No, you can take a swift action as well.
Alright.
Does your swift action heal remove the staggered condition?
Suggestion: healing during this duel might not be a good idea.
I mean, she's already been using magic.
Well, but it might invalidate the duel.
Were those in the rules?
I don't know. I didn't see the rules of the duel.
We weren't told the rules.
The only rules there were about magic was there was to be no magic on you going in.
Okay, so never mind.
Yeah, so you can heal.
Alright, let's see something. Aha. She is going to swift action, heal herself, and as she does so, her vitality seems to come right back into her. Damn. 5. She'll take a 5-foot step back. And
Make a swing.
she'll start a patrol. The
Oh.
second one.
Okay.
She readies a defensive stance, aiming for his feet if he tries to even step close to her. And that's it.
All right. He will, seeing the events that have transpired, hold his position and go in for another strike. After I advance the initiative.
Jeez.
Oofed.
That's a 19.
Yes.
She takes it right to the side of her torso.
Alright, Lutheran hammers aren't 1920, are they?
No.
Nope.
Thank
I keep thinking they are for some
God.
reason. It's probably because they're times 2, maybe that's why.
She grits her teeth in pain, but she stays steady, keeping the defensive stance up.
Doesn't
Alright.
she take a fortitude save versus being dazed?
Ah, yes, I do need a fortitude save.
Dazed. Oh, okay.
She's fine.
She will take another step back, ending her patrol, and then restore herself, removing the staggered condition.
Alright.
And that's all she can do.
He will step forward, pressing the momentary retreat and going for yet another swing. His tactics are very predictable, but he's got a fair amount of strength to try and back it up. He rolled a 1 on his damage, I'm betting.
With her recovered stamina, she was able to block the shot with her arm, and it glances off.
Okay. He did actually roll a 1 on his damage roll. That was hilarious.
And now... Can you do a special attack action on attacks of opportunity?
No,
You have to have a feat or talent for it. So no, sadly you can.
Okay. Sin is going to move around him.
Alright, that will provoke and he will take that. You can ignore the battered and other stuff.
Okay. She definitely takes that.
I'm curious. What the hell?
But even as it goes into her, she will use her swift action. It seems like all of his blows are just getting immediately mended right back up, to some extent. And she will go in for her strike.
That'll hit. As it does hit, he seems to roar in anguish and agony, but he is still standing. So, I believe that is his turn now.
Yes.
Does he have 1 hit point syndrome?
No, he has 1 temporary hit point syndrome. And he will berserk again and swing into Sin, performing another special attack action.
Hoof.
Fortitude save versus dazed again.
Versus dazed. Oh.
Staggered.
No,
She
it's
is not.
battered.
Yes, and she is. The staggering happens before the battering, or as part of the same thing, so they don't interact with each other.
No, what I was thinking though is she got rid of the stagger.
She's only battered for 1 round.
Okay.
Battering doesn't last a long time. Unfortunately, you are staggered again.
All right.
That's fine. She can just swift action heal.
Yeah. So that's 15 damage.
Yep.
Whew, that was a good shot. And she reels back and seems very much winded from that. At least for a little bit.
Damage is a myth.
Damage is a myth when you're a life seer.
Yes, but the thing is if he lands a critical, he can actually take her down in a single hit.
Oh no, I'm joking. I know he can beat her. Hilarious that every time he deals damage, she's like, but no.
Still staggered though. She will try to press her lead. Yeesh.
You did berserk.
That will miss, unfortunately, by 1.
5 foot step back.
Wait, didn't he berserk?
Yes, but it only brings it down to a 17 right now because he hasn't
Oh.
charged.
Right.
He will 5-foot step up and with his Lucerne hammer come in for another sweeping swing. This time he's going to a power attack, so it'll be
Hey.
2 lower than it says. Yes?
I just figured out a really
That's a 15.
I don't know how
Believe
you
me,
want to
will
roll
miss.
this, but if he does have a single temporary hit point, due to by raw, he would go down.
No, he has other vitality and wounds.
Okay, no, but it's just a thing. So if you only have a temporary hit point left
Mhm.
from Berserker, it goes away at the start of each turn, and then you can re-up it.
Yeah. No, he's
Okay.
got vitality and wounds.
All right, I'm
He
just
will go wide with his swing, unfortunately, because that would have been a damn good hit.
it's just an interesting interaction.
Defensive posture. She starts her patrol. Difficult
Is your
terrain
full round
again.
action to start your patrol?
No.
Okay.
Swift Guardian. I'm just not using both of them. It's why it says or.
Okay.
All right. Being as stubborn as he is, but sensing that things are going on, he will. Oh god, hold on. I've got to go look up rules that I never thought I would look up.
Difficult terrain
Breaking and
rules?
entering? Breaking and entering?
No, I know I'm going to have to look it up all the time.
It's difficult terrain rules.
No, fighting defensively rules.
If you don't have anything from fencing, it's not that good.
It's actually pretty good because it offsets the penalty he has for berserking. He will berserk. He will provoke.
All right. Since he'll be 1 square back provoking, Sin will step up. And take her swing. Unfortunately, it's no good.
He will still have to follow through with the rest of that step he was preparing. And he is going to fight defensively against you. This will be 6 lower than it says right now because he's power attacking.
Doesn't
That's a
matter.
natural 20.
Out of 20.
And does it confirm? No.
Thank God. I believe she's still staggered, so...
That will daze her.
Oh wait, she wouldn't be...
It is for
Would
one
she
round
still
or
be
2 round?
battered? The days
No,
or
she
the
would not be
staggered?
battered. That's
So
right.
it's still staggered. Does it just
Yes.
stack the duration?
It resets it.
Is this the brutal strike battering?
Yes.
Using Brutal Strike requires martial focus.
Yeah, he has it.
No, he's not using that part of the martial focus. So,
Wait.
Lion, this
You
happened
can-
during his turn, right?
You can brutal. Yes, it did. You can
Did he
brutal
hit her
strike.
last turn?
Yes, he did.
Then it would
No,
be
he didn't. He didn't.
okay. If he hits her 2 turns in a row, then it's the
That's right. Yeah. So when you brutal strike, you have the
Oh, yeah,
option to
yeah.
just inflict battered. But yes,
He missed
I
last
got it.
turn.
okay.
yeah, he did. So you are unfortunately just staggered for another 2 rounds. So yes, it does stack duration.
Her patrol ends. She steps back. Secret
Golf swing.
weapon. Golf swing. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Ooh. Sliced
Oh.
it.
Unfortunately, he's a dwarf. He's mastered the art of blocking golf swings and taking them.
In the
Coincidentally.
rough.
Sin grunts in frustration.
He's going to fight defensively again, but not power tech, so this will be only 4 lower than it says. He will also go wide. It's a veritable flurry of hammer swings at each other as they both press on. Likely, if he were not a dwarf, he would have, or this combat would have ended a long time ago.
Getting frustrated, Sin is going to shout as she goes for the armor instead, trying to shear it away. This is at +2 to hit.
He
That'll
wouldn't
hit.
do him normally. So, damn.
Alright, so now I've got to go find breaking and entering rules.
Do you?
Yes, because she's sundering as far as I can tell, right?
Yes.
Sundering's under breaking an
Yes.
enemy?
Yes, because it's the
Yeah.
hardness of objects.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
damaging
God.
objects.
Thank you, Tyler, for beating me to that.
You're welcome, Eric.
Armor bonus. time.
Also, oh no.
Oh no.
What is the armor made of?
It's steel full plate.
So it has 10 hardness and it has its armor times 5.
Alright. I will have to note here that his armor is starting to take damage.
If his hardness is 10 and his health is double the armor's AC.
5 times the armor's AC.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to break that anytime soon.
She has some bonuses because it's a Lucerne hammer.
It's only what, +2?
It's a hit.
Oh, I'm talking other bonuses that are not normally a factor of Pathfinder.
Oh, okay. Because he's at 45 hit points, right?
Blunt weapons are better at sundering than other weapons. If I can.
I have special rules for sundering that are... They make it impossible in most cases to sunder, and that's not cool, so...
No, it's not cool.
You have put a sizable dent in his armor. I gotta adjust the property on his token. His armor is now not giving him all of the benefits that it should have. And with that, I believe that is the end of your turn.
It is.
He's going to go in for a desperation swing. He's leaving his guard down. He is going to just try and get a good hit
Rolls
in.
1.
No, he did roll a 6. As he's coming in, he comes in for a powerful overhead swing that's attempting to go into your shoulder right near your neck. Unfortunately, as he does so, he just does not find a way to connect in time.
Damn it, she's slightly taller than a dwarf.
How tall is she?
She
4 foot
is
or something.
4'9".
4
Or
foot
no,
nine.
foot. Yeah, 4'10" is what it was.
Okay, yeah, you're taller than a dwarf, but not by much.
It's your
She
turn.
attempts to capitalize on the damage she did to the armor, trying to pierce through it into his flesh. So this is not a sunder. It is a sacred swing.
Ooh.
Damn, if only the damage matched the to hit.
That's still a solid hit.
Yeah.
You were trying to kill him. You're just trying to make him say uncle.
Ancestor! Ancestor!
Technically, that is more accurate than uncle. Anything else from Sin?
Yes. She'll 5-foot step back.
Okay. His beard is starting to singe a little from the sparks flying around, and he will step in.
Oh no, you burned my beard.
This is going to be an attack. And, it will be an attack that will do an attack thing. He's going to go for a special attack action, and he's going to come over his head and for an overhead swing.
Phew. It misses.
Unfortunately, missing.
She steps back just in time, and as she does so, she sparks up her weapon.
Aren't you out of? Isn't that the yellow bar?
I had one more left.
Okay.
And she'll start her patrol as her lucerne hammer burns, and says, "You can call it now."
Oh, this is getting good. He does appear that he's going to go for at least one more attack.
All right.
Difficult to run.
Yep.
Cool. So she'll step in.
Yeah, he provokes there.
Ah, shit.
Yep.
He is at
Like,
2 lower than this is.
I missed too. God damn it! We have the fucking 2 people here. Get it?
The attacks keep coming in, and you all keep blocking each other.
It's almost as if it's 2 people with lucerne hammers wearing full plate. Crit fishing in the worst way possible at this point.
She steps back, ends her patrol, and
Not really. He has a higher bonus.
let's go for the armor again. 19.
That'll hit. I'll do a bit of damage.
What?
Nothing.
Oh, did you look at chat?
Yes, but no.
Seeing that you're intent on going for his armor, he's going to go for a risky maneuver. This will provoke an attack of opportunity,
Oh.
as he's going to attempt to disarm you. Oh,
Oh!
oh boy. Give me one moment.
no, not in my house.
Oh my god.
I Morgan's beard.
Alright.
I Morgan's hammer.
As he tries to get up under her haft, she manages to move it out of the way, and using the momentum of him trying to pry it out of her hands, uppercuts the point on the lucerne hammer right into his torso, and it hooks right on where she dented it.
Alright. He will go in for a disarm attempt.
Oh, she hit me in the ancestors.
And then the lucerne hammer goes flying out of her hand.
And he will drop it. And I will mark the spot. It's going to end up in that square. However, I have to roll a die. High or low?
Hi.
You know, I wish this was an odd side die, because that would have been funny. He is still standing for the moment, though he has ended his turn.
Sin is going to
Does
Pick
Sen
up her-
carry any other weapons on her?
no, her extra lucerne hammer was left back at the base.
I mean, like daggers or anything like that.
No. She
Alright,
does
well.
not use those.
Walk
Maybe
over
she
and
will
pick it
after
up.
this. Does she have to be in the same square to pick it up?
These are damn good questions.
Yes, you do. You have to pick that up.
In reality, probably not. In game,
No,
Probably,
because
yeah.
it's a 5. Can do your arms reach 5 feet into another square?
Yeah.
You can interact
Yeah.
with things next to you.
Yes,
Yeah?
but 5 feet is a large amount of space.
If that were
I-
true, you would have to be inside someone else's square to attack them using your hands.
I will say, because it is a reach weapon, you will be able to pick it up. However, I do believe it still provokes an attack of opportunity.
All right.
What if she does a roll?
She could attempt an acrobatics check to
No,
not
thank you.
provoke.
Come on, Dark Souls fat roll. I believe in you.
Funk.
Is there a penalty for that? Like, is there a penalty for doing this? Like, is there a chance of failure and not picking up the Lucerne hammer?
No, you'll still pick it up. It's just whether you provoke or not.
-5.
No. You do not, with a 0, beat the DC 17.
I couldn't beat the DC at all.
yeah, actually,
I mean, for
Yeah.
what it's worth, I
It
didn't
would've-
know her value to it, so
it's armor
Oh,
check
that's
penalty.
fucking amazing.
Even with having
Oh.
0 to dex, armor check penalty fucks you over.
yep.
I haven't laughed that hard since I was a little girl. Thank you. Oh.
Well, he's going.
I am
to
concerned.
swing.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, looking like he does score a hit.
Oof.
You will have picked up the hammer.
18.
Well, now she just needs to bring the hammer down.
Or
She
you know,
will.
heal first.
Healing.
Yeah, without the healing, she would have lost a long time
Oh, yeah. And though she starts to bleed, the wound immediately sews back up naturally. And
what
she's
is
not
this
battered
happening?
because it's an attack of opportunity. So she's going to step back.
Patrol.
Patrol. Try it again.
This is the fight that never ends.
It's funny you should mention that. As he goes to step forward, he does collapse onto the ground, dropping prone, his weapon scattering to the side. It's at this point that you see on his right leg, blood is oozing out of one of the crevices in the full plate.
She drops her weapon and runs up to him.
The armor is not rotund. I am. And sundering hits my god.
So, is he trying to bait her into something?
If he was, this would be a terrible way of doing it, as he is 100% disarmed right now.
Fantastic.
And it's also a
As
duel of
revealed.
honor. That wouldn't
Yep,
be very honorable.
Fainting is literally fooling your opponent with swordplay.
Yes, but right now he is legitimately bleeding from his leg. And as you look down, you can see that while it was not a hit you delivered, his leg is profusely bleeding. You can make me a
fought so
heal
hard.
check right now.
He fought so hard he opened an old wound.
That's exactly what happened. He had a wound on his leg that, with this almost minute and a half of intense life or death fighting, he reopened.
I lost my shins in the Vietnam War.
Collapsed on the
So
ground.
what?
Currently,
Cotton Hill, yes.
He's what, 3 inches shorter?
he's currently not saying anything and on the verge of passing out.
Do you surrender? It's to the death.
I know, but it's just like
in a
If
situation.
the answer is no, punch him in the face.
And then heal him.
He's not in any state to talk.
He's not in any
Emmett's
state to
going to-
talk.
Yeah,
Emmett's
He's-
gonna look over at the dude.
the dude is,
Judge.
the officiate is still standing there watching. He doesn't get any joy in it, but right now, the terms of the conflict haven't been met, so his hands are bound by dwarven law.
Sen, I have an
He's-
idea.
Alright,
Sin's going
this
to
will be fun.
whisper. No, wait. No, wait. Sin's going to whisper something to him.
Okay.
Secret messages.
After whispering, she is going to pick up his lucerne hammer and coup de grace him.
Duh.
No, not coup de grace.
No.
That would be way too much.
Yep. I know
Oh shit.
She is going to methodically do just enough damage to his body to kill him.
Okay. And you will be able to do that over the next about 12 seconds.
And as soon as he's dead, she's going to. Well, does he call it immediately?
As soon as he sees that the damage is done, the officiate will call it, yes.
Okay, immediately.
Breath of life.
I have to do an absurd amount of damage to him. Give me 1 second.
Absurd amount.
Yes, just so I can trigger the dead state. Oops, that's the damage macro again.
Kill him back to life.
Right, I don't have Breath of Life in here. As life fades from his body, he rests on the ground, and for a moment, there's just a silence in this room before Sin places a hand upon him, channels some energy into him, and he almost jolts upright, breathing suddenly and heavily. The bleeding from his leg seems to staunch itself and fade away. As he lays there, he collapses back to the ground, simply just doing little more than resting. He motions to Sin for a moment to lean down and will whisper something to her.
All right.
After that, he will motion for the judge, who will hop down into the pit and begin calling out to other people outside to prepare to provide him some long-term care.
A little tired herself, she picks up her lucerne hammer and uses it as a walking stick to lean on as she hobbles back to the party.
Gorstag will hop the barrier and escort her back.
Miles is gonna stand up and clap. Good bloody fun. Good bloody fun. Like
And
these people really
Gorstag will pat her back and go, "Well fought, little one."
Thank you.
Gotta say, I kinda like these dwarven fights.
Can Gorstag have dwarven fight?
I don't know if there's a dwarf brave enough, Gorstag.
None of the dwarves seem to be rushing to the opportunity right now. That said, you have found a few that will play rock with you.
Oh hell yeah!
Rock, rock, rock is an old dwarven tradition.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, it is. It is Orcish and Dwarven.
Have we talked to the Modé about potentially helping us in the battle yet?
So, they do not have enough of a military presence here that they can divert from the mining operations to be able to provide appreciable help. However, before this happened, Numerius, you did have your quick meeting with them, and they were more than willing to, in a reasonable time frame, provide for you a Minister of Finances and Trades.
Ooh!
Fantastic. Numerius will await his arrival. There.
Yeah, that one will probably be a month, maybe two, because they've got to find someone that's capable of doing the job and willing to do the job and all that jazz. But
Yeah.
they'll have letters ahead.
We just need to survive.
Plus some cultists.
Let's do it.
All right. I
Afterwards,
gotta go
we
take
send
this. So.
So yeah, 5-minute break, maybe if anyone needs it. I'm actually not going to take it for once. I will still be here. And then when everyone gets back, we can begin the session in proper.
I still have the Kusarmi knife up.
Future reference for everyone in the party. Emmett will buy a knife for everyone in the party and hand it to them.
Gorstag looks at the knife and just tosses it behind him and pulls out a bunch of axes that he keeps on him at all times.
As long as they're light weapons, Emmett doesn't care.
He has throwing axes, masterwork axes. His armor is actually basically just axes.
I just want to make sure that everyone has a dagger on them.
Gorstag has axe plate.
Yep.
And
He's an axe hoarder.
For what it's worth, when Emmett goes to offer Numerius, he will just turn his hand into a claw and just say, I can do this whenever.
Alright.
Sin will happily take hers.
Emmett will put back the ceremonial dagger of his maybe father to give him a Numerius at a later date. As Emmett kind of has no real reason to be carrying it around, but just at this point, he just has it.
You know, I think Numerius would trust him keeping it more than he would himself.
Fair point.
Oh yeah, he does have Matthias's dagger. That's right.
That, and if someone's going to nick something from someone, they're gonna have a hard time doing that from Emmett.
That's a very valid point.
Much more so than Numerius. His wisdom is base, and his sense motive is actually just a d20.
Well, except that it was a... Oh, I'm able plus 10 on Emmett right now. His sense motive is the one that's crazy. But... Yep.
Still really good.
Yep. Especially seeing as he takes 0 penalties while sleeping.
Yeah.
God, if Emmett had been at the house when the attack had happened, it would have been so much different.
A lot of things could have made the attack on the house very different.
Like Gorstag telling us, hey, I have a letter.
Hey,
I mean-
I have letter.
Lucian's gonna find this letter at some point afterwards and just stare at Gorstag.
I'm back.
Stare at the letter.
I do have this mental image of Gorstag just later on going, oh wait, guys, I have this letter that would have helped us like a few months ago. And I was just like, huh?
Sorry,
Why?
Gorstag forget things.
Why is my voice coming?
Numerius might
loud?
actually punch him.
Now it's an orange.
I'm giving my pets macros.
Oh dear God, why?
So this is my my pig's macro.
Sweet.
And then this is my crow.
We always back by that one.
I like how you're apparently going in reverse order to when you got the pets.
I haven't decided what Mousy Mouse or Mouse Stag Squeak's Helm does. I think he just might shank a motherfucker.
Mugs.
You got that cheese, Jenny? You got that cheese, Billy?
Rob's
Come on, tell me you got that fucking cheese, Billy.
Creature of their cheese.
I could totally
Or
see,
just has
like,
a macro that startles me and make an honorary Sneaks McSqueaks.
he somehow learns how to play sound effects through macros.
I just realized Sneaks McSqueaks could theoretically exist still.
You mean Mousy Mouse?
Mousy
Sneaks McSqueaks.
Mouse.
Sneaks McSqueaks is the mouse that
That torments Lion.
But
yes.
Mousy Mouse could actually still exist in this world.
Yeah, he'd just be within the Sunless Citadel.
No.
No.
Based on other versions, it could be Marabella's familiar. If she were to ever. learn
Well,
how
the
to-
only reason originally Mousy Mouse came from the Sunless Citadel.
Yeah, they're just a dire rat that Synthenis befriended.
That's
that
really
was sick that she healed and then
Yeah.
befriended.
I know, but based on Throes of Endirion, Marabella had.
Yeah, but it was the
Mousy
same
Mouse
Mousy
had
Mouse
it.
that Sin had.
But who's to say he also, or Mousy Mouse also hasn't had a change of court or fate?
Maybe Mousy Mouse was her pet mouse that she got because her mother has a bunch of animals and she pestered her mother until she got one. And it.
I feel like Jeanette would just bitch slap the shit out of Marabella.
No, Jeanette likes Marabella.
Oh, does she?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Jeanette is potentially grooming her to become the new Jeanette body. So she would
But-
want to foster magical abilities within Marabella.
These are things for a later point. And
Yes.
now we begin with the real session.
Yeah, and then 5 minutes
that-
in, my dinner will actually be done.
It's
Not
a-
that that wasn't real gameplay and all of that, but for the stuff
Okay,
I
within 30 minutes of us starting the session, I had 2 interruptions.
oh, fun. Within
Back to
wow,
normal.
yes, the days will pass on, and August 6th will roll around, somewhere around 4 in the afternoon, when you arrive upon the manor house of. I'm real good at names, guys. I'm fucking fantastic at remembering them.
This
I
is
don't believe you.
this is why you need to keep a list of NPC and place names and just use them whenever you can't think of something.
You will stumble. You will come upon the house of Jacob Lemon, the individual who owns the manor house. He is a minor lord within Oakhurst.
Jacob Lemon.
I'm gonna
Jacob
be that guy.
Lemon.
I'm gonna be that
Lemon.
guy. Minor, MINOR, like as in a small lord, or minor
Yes,
as in the
small.
lord mining group. Okay,
Small.
because in the Oakhurst area, there's actually potential for it to be either one.
Yes. The manor house is wooden. It's fairly well kept, despite its distance from most other things. And you've gone on a somewhat winding path, and as you break through the tree line to the portion of the manor house, it is a 2-story manor house, and you see from where you are what appears to be a well-dressed individual. I will copy your tokens and make a map visible.
So I have a question, Lion.
Yes.
What would Numerius know of this man / his family?
Okay. You can give me a knowledge and ability roll. Okay. Relatively speaking, they are not a family of much importance. They are basically given this land just as a. They are basically a small-time noble family that just sort of does their noble things. They were granted it as, perhaps a favor or some such.
But they're pretty much just unremarkable.
Yes, very unremarkable. This man is fairly well dressed, but not dressed as a true noble. They're standing there. They have a rapier at their side, and they have long black hair that extends past their shoulders. And as they are standing there, they look up and are a bit startled by your approach, but will say, "Oh, well, we weren't expecting visitors. Who might you be?"
Meta question. This is the first instance of the mysterious figures about?
Yes.
Okay. Numerius will introduce himself as the Marquis, Numerius Scaevola, the Vale.
Sin bows as well.
The man will bow in return. I was not expecting the Marquis themselves, though you are not the person I was under the impression was the Marquis.
Then I'm afraid you had been lied to.
If you don't mind my asking, what brings you to my lord's estate?
Well, in my absence, there had been a pretender to my claim, and I've learned that over his years of rule, there were troubles that arose. Myself and Entourage, and Numerius will gesture to the party,
Gorstag waves.
are seeking to resolve some of these. And there have been disturbing rumors of strange figures around this area.
Yes. Oh, yes. Well, allow me to invite you inside. And he will gesture towards the door that he is standing near. Unfortunately, my lord has been ill for a few days, and he has been sleeping most of the days away. He should be up just around supper time when I rouse him for the day for the meal. I've noticed all of the sense motives. Give me a second.
I don't have a sense motive, so Gorstag did survival.
I saw that. That was pretty great.
Basically, Numerius wants to know, is he trying to lure us into a trap? And is the whole thing about, the Lord has just been resting, is that bullshit?
So, you don't believe he's trying to lure you into a trap. And he, from what it sounds like, his lord has been resting the whole day.
So no bullshit abound.
Not that you can detect.
Alright.
He will.
Gorstag will stay close to Numerius and Sin.
Emmett will ask if he knows. Is there a door in this room? Or did you just put the token there?
No, there's a door right there.
Okay, I can. It's a small thing. Okay, and it was covered by a token. Emmett's gonna ask if he knows what his master is ill with.
He's gotten a bit of an unearthly pallor to him, but we believe it might just be a high-burning fever.
Bad case of diarrhea.
One moment.
I have a thing, but I want the results of that first.
Oh my god. Where's my D20? He's probably trying to undersell what he thinks is wrong because he doesn't want to concern, the Marquis. But it's something that's not life-threatening, but is serious from the way it seems. But he's underselling what's going on so as to not alarm a group of, powerful and important people that have just showed up at his place of work.
And it will kind of respond. How bad is it really? I mean, he's going to gesture towards Synthenis. We have a trained healer here.
A trained and very capable healer.
He will say, and he will motion for you to follow, and he will lead you all into this room. It's a den. It's got a fireplace. It's got a nice one. It's got a few chairs. It is a tad toasty because it doesn't have good ventilation to the outside. There's enough chairs provided for all of you, and he'll say, well, as far as I can tell,
Gorstag will sit just outside the room.
Okay. As far as I can tell, most of what has ailed him has run its course. However, I'm not quite sure. I've kept him hydrated and fed as best I can, and he's been able to keep most things down. But he's taken to sleeping during the day. But you said you're here about strange figures in the night?
Yes, but
Oh, yeah.
I am curious. How long has he been ill? And have you sent for healers from Okars?
It's only been a few days, and at the outset, I didn't think anything too major was wrong with him. He took to resting a little more than he normally would, but we hadn't seen cause for dispatching for a healer.
Sin will quietly look over the man, trying to figure out what's going on with him.
This man has nothing wrong with him. This man is the butler.
Oh, I thought he led us to the room.
No. This is a study.
My bad. Whoops.
Emmett will ask if he can go ahead and observe the person while he's sleeping.
That doesn't sound creepy at all.
After a moment, Victor will say, well, I must see to him to see if he is awake, and if he is, I will see if he is feeling well enough for company. I do not want others catching ill right now. And he looks to you, Nemesis, especially the esteemed Marquis. If you don't mind.
Numeris will give a nod.
Nihilus, from what it seems, he does, that's something pretty genuine, and, doesn't want you guys to get sick.
Yeah, but how genuine is he on that, though?
Beyond it being a professional courtesy to go, hey, my employer's sick, his employer shouldn't go in to see him if he doesn't need to. He does seem to have a bit of a genuine concern that whatever the individual has might be contagious enough that spending time around his employer would risk infecting you a lot.
And we'll have one more question before the dude goes upstairs if he's headed up there.
Yes.
He said he sleeps during the day. Does he stay awake at night? Or does he just sleep all the time?
He has his occasional bouts of insomnia, but generally he sleeps most of the time as far as I'm aware.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cross off the vampire box on my sheet of conspiracies.
Oh no.
I would more, lightly cross that out, like a pencil instead of ink, because it still might be.
I mean, vampirism is contagious.
Technically.
Technically.
And he will...
As the Marquis, you can just say, take us to him.
He will ascend up the stairs, assuming no one is going to demand.
Before he has any, like, if he's going to do anything, you have the power right now to say, take us to him before he has the chance to be alone and do any shit. If he is somehow really good at lying, or he's hiding something else from us.
Would Numerius know if Emmett has any medical capabilities?
No. He's
No,
He
you know,
will-
Sin does.
Yeah, he will just say to both Synthenis and to Gorstag, why don't you two follow him in case the Lord does need any assistance?
I was thinking about that. I'll go up.
Bring Gorstag along.
As she leaves the room, she beckons Gorstag to follow.
So at this point, as you step out, Gorstag is not in the hallway.
God fucking damn it.
Gorstag,
Oh,
come follow me.
okay.
I thought he legitimately just wandered out of the complex.
Is
Alright,
he
anyway.
coming? Cool.
Was it just Sin and Gorstag that were going up, or was someone else going up?
Someone has to keep Numerius alive.
So, Victor, the butler, will, after a moment, he will have introduced himself. I'm not that. It didn't cross to my mind, but it's a proper thing that he would have done.
Sin will
Victor
introduce
will.
herself as well.
He will lead you upstairs. Oh yeah, I need to copy Lily's token to this map.
Yes.
yeah.
I'm gonna just move her token over into the party slot right now,
Okay.
so that I stop forgetting her token.
And they're just going to be moving around. We could just use the tokens here unless there's something different going on.
No. You can leave them there. But the only thing is that the cellar is padlocked, but that kind of makes sense. Well, not padlocked, but it's locked. And he's got nice, fine dining.
Fine
Deck.
dining and breathing.
Fine dining deck.
Yeah, I'm also going to be wandering the grounds outside the house, like around the house.
But Victor will lead you up through a few twisting hallways and head towards.
Sin can hear Gorstag slightly muttering under his breath as he tries to remember which way they went. But he doesn't really seem to understand what left and right are. So it's kind of ineffective.
That's hilarious.
Victor will push open the door. Inside, in a large double bed, is, I would say well dressed, but he's currently not necessarily well dressed because he's resting. An individual. The blinds are drawn in the room, but he is currently laying very still, shallowly breathing every now and then.
Okay.
Around the room, there is a chest, a table, and a cartographical table that seems to have a small map of what you assume might be the land he's in charge of.
All right.
Victor looks at him and will say, "My lord, are you awake?" The individual will stir briefly, sort of groggily looking around. "Yes, I am, Victor. What time is it?" "Well, sir, it's a bit early compared to normal, but you have visitors." And at this point, he will notice and turn towards the group of you two. And say, oh, I'm so sorry. And he will pause for a moment, and Victor will say, "They are assistants to the Marquis, who has apparently regained his original station."
I suppose you could say assistance.
Yes, someone by the name of Numerius. Not the fellow we dealt with once before. He seems to have not been who we thought he was. And Gorstag, with that knowledge and ability, looking him over, he sleeps dressed like a noble would sleep. And he's got a lot of mannerisms to him, and by the fact that he has all of these things around him, and what you discovered, this man seems to probably be the genuine article, that he is just a minor lord.
Okay.
Yes, Jacob will look to you and say, I apologize, you've caught me at a bit of an inopportune time.
Do not trouble yourself. If you're ill, it's best to get as much rest as possible.
Yes, that's what we've been... Well, he catches himself realizing he's perhaps a little sleepy still. So that's what I've been trying to do. My butler here, and he will gesture towards Victor, has gone a long way in keeping me on top of my rest and on top of my business. Though I am feeling a bit cooped up, and perhaps it might be time for a trip downstairs.
You won't ride on Gorstag back?
For a moment, Jacob does seem a bit taken aback by the brashness and honesty that Gorstag just had, just in this offer. I'll shake his head. No, I think I need to stretch some of my own muscles, get the blood flowing again.
Before we do that,
Okay.
though, can you explain your symptoms, please? How are you feeling now?
Well, right now, and he smiles cheesily, I'm feeling a fair bit better, but it's just, I've been feeling a bit under the weather, a bit clammy. I did collapse once, but otherwise it seems to have just been some sort of thing that ran its course, or has almost run its course.
And do you want me to roll the heal check, or do you want to use that old one?
You can roll me a heal check.
Yes.
Looking him over, he physically looks like he's generally fine. His body is, for the most part, still strong. He does appear to be, properly hydrated. His skin has color and definition to it, though it's a little faded. He does seem to have a bit of a slow breathing, but he's been resting. That probably makes a lot of sense, given that he's likely not done much of anything recently.
Yeah.
And he will say, I do thank you for your concern, ma'am, but I think right now a bit of a walk around the house might do me some good.
Let me at least help you with that. Is he exhausted, fatigued, nauseated, or sickened?
At the moment, no.
Oh. Wow, not even fatigued? Okay.
Oh wait, no, he is fatigued.
Not anymore.
Okay. He does smile, noticing this. Thank you for that. It does put a bit more of a pep in my step.
It's
You want one of Gorstag's grog?
That might just knock him the fuck out.
If you do take that offer, I recommend the light stuff.
He will shake his head. No, I'm not much for partaking in alcohol.
Oh. Gorstag have cider?
He smiles. Perhaps at dinner I would, he will look to Jacob. Shall we begin, well, I think you should begin, blah, 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 blah. I think you might want to begin preparing a meal for our guests. Jacob will say, "Ah, yes, yes," and he will say, "If you excuse me," and he will begin heading out.
Oh, Gorsteg find boar.
Oh my god.
And then
Victor will say-
Gorsteg's just gonna leave and go wander out into the woods to find a boar.
Victor, as he's stepping by, will say, "I'm sorry, what?"
Gorsteg's not gonna say another thing and
Yep.
just go.
As Emmett and Lily see Gorstag running off, it's like, remember, we're not supposed to go places without other people.
Gorsteg fine, just go into woods.
Numerius will turn to Emmett. You should probably go.
And he's just gonna go to the edge of the woods and try a
As long
boar
as Emmett
call.
can still see him, he won't go follow him.
He's not going too deep, right?
No.
Emmett will ask Lily, if as they are just standing back here next to this door, staring at it, if she is capable of teleporting someone 2 feet.
Not easily without seeing it, or without great risks.
All right. Then Emmett will try
Besides,
to
that would put you off the grid.
What?
Oh, that's a terrible joke.
Emmett will attempt to find Victor while he's not. And he'll have Lily with him. Assume Lily's following him around right now, because he is her bodyguard at this point. And he will ask if there's anything strange going on with the cellar.
No, we keep some of our storage down there, mostly just wines.
Crates of dead bodies.
Anything magical?
Oh no,
He's gonna kind of point towards Lily for her to explain.
but before she gets a chance to explain, I'll say, no. The Lord is an adept duelist, as am I, but we are not. We don't partake in magics. Lily will say, I believe that there might be something down there. They'll say, well, we'll see to it. Of course, you are able to take care of the boar.
Gorsteg returns with a boar.
Just this bloodied up fucking boar, just trapped like you're just.
Actually, it's
No,
not
not
bloody.
really.
Oh no.
Yeah. It's not bloody at all.
Oh.
Pretty darn clean.
But Lily will say to Victor, will say, yes, I was just had something in my nature, and I noticed that there's a faint amount of magic. Victor will say, well, perhaps it might be one of the old curios and knickknacks from Jacob's father. He did have a penchant for collecting them.
And it will look at him. I'm just worried due to the presence of menacing figures. Most of the situations that we've run along with people fitting that description have involved magic.
Has Synthenis returned from upstairs?
Yes. At this point, Sin, you and Jacob have descended down. You've helped him out. He does seem to have a fair bit more strength than you might have expected for someone who's basically been bedridden for the past, from the sounds of it, few days. About the only time he stumbles is right when he's nearing the end of the steps, but he stumbles, and with your help and his own reflexes, he will catch himself and right himself.
Okay.
Two of them will be downstairs. It is at this point that everyone's sort of getting together that Victor will look to Lord Jacob and say, Sir, do you, or my lord, your grace, whatever correct greeting it actually is, do you happen to know if anything that we have downstairs might be magical? These fellows here, and he will gesture to the rest of the group, are investigating those claims that or those letters we sent about those menacing figures a few months ago. Jacob will say, "Oh my, you'll hear about that? Well, I am sorry that you came out all of this way. They stopped showing up perhaps a month or so ago."
I don't suppose you would have any further information on them, perhaps what they look like?
I wasn't consistently the one that saw them. I caught a glimpse of them maybe once or twice. But, he will look to Victor. Victor here could probably provide a description. And it was actually a few of the folks that live out here that came to petition me to petition yourself for aid. We had been looking for, or they had been seeing them around their homes.
Meta question.
Yes.
Would it be possible that these would be Kuru, or would they be out of place for Kuru?
So the letters did provide a basic description, and Kurus would be exceedingly out of place, as Kuru do not wear, cloaks and robes and the likes that the figures were described as wearing.
I'm gonna sense motive to see if he really believes that the figures are gone.
Hold on. I rolled 2 separate die and got the same result. Now that I can read one of the die I fucking rolled. As he's... it does seem that he believes that they are gone, though it seems like there might not be... or there might be more to the story than just they're gone.
Do you have any idea of where they might have headed, or hidden out?
He ponders for a moment. Well, I'm not quite certain. Say, once my wonderful chef here, he will point to Victor, has finished what your friend has so graciously provided, as well as the rest of the meal, we can discuss these matters over dinner. But for right now, what I will say is that I can at least tell you where they had been found or had been seen thereabouts. Most of it's not more than an hour or so walk from here.
All right. Emmett's gonna ask Jacob, do you mind if I see a key to the cellar? I just want to make sure there's nothing down there of any danger before we adjourn for dinner. Call me paranoid, but I haven't lived exactly this long as a guard being oblivious.
Okay, you will say, and he will rifle around through his own personage, and then will say, I'm sorry, Victor, you keep the keys. And Victor will say, yes, they are in your personal study. Say, yes, well, if you would be so kind as to follow me. And he will look to Emmett.
Emmett will gesture for Lily to follow.
Okay. 2 of them can follow.
Numerius at some point will ask Victor, is it just the 2 of you that live in this house?
I'll say, yes, at current, Lord Jacob has not found a suitor yet, and he will sort of look out a window that I did not document in the kitchen. I forgot to document in the kitchen, and say, it's more for the lack of pressingness to this land that he hasn't found a suitor. So it is just the 2 of us out here right now.
Sent motive for gay as fuck.
I might as well roll a thing on that. Okay. Well, I'm rolling a d20, I'm at least trying.
Bam.
Okay, let's see how obvious it really is. Okay.
I mean, for what it's worth, this lordship is basically just it's a stick in the mud. It's a shithole position. Most people aren't going to want to marry into it unless they are basically just a I don't know, for lack of a better word, like
Potato
merchant noble. Yeah, like it's got to be a huge step up to go from whatever you were to this for someone to want to marry into it.
Okay.
So Paul moved into his study.
Yes. In the study, he is currently looking around. Say, would you kindly help me? There's a ring of these keys. I don't ever remember where I keep them. If it weren't for Victor, I wouldn't be able to function most days.
Trying to figure out if he's trying to get me to do something so he can attack me or anything like that.
He doesn't seem to be.
But does anything feel particularly off about the situation?
I mean, a lot of things feel off about the situation.
Okay, well, Emmett is going to perception for the keys.
Yeah. Lily will join in as well, and as the two of you look around. After a few moments, collectively, the group of you will find them. They happen to have been on a bookshelf hung on a keyring that is labeled the keyring.
Gonna look at Lord Jacob and go, "Are you all right? Like, mentally right now? Headache, migraines, anything like that?"
This is actually the best I've ever been in terms of headaches. I haven't had a headache in a few months.
Emmett's going to. How obvious is it when Lily detects magic?
Go see her casting tradition.
Doesn't she have magical signs?
She does, and she has verbal and somatic.
Yeah.
Emmett's gonna go, "Hold on a second. I'm gonna see if my friend can see something." And he's going to ask her to detect magic. Well, first of all, he's going to ask, like, stand in between them.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like if dude just randomly attacks, it's going to hit Emmett, not Lily, and ask for her to detect magic on him. Because I think I know what happened to him.
Now, I'm going to quickly check something in my notes.
Out of character. Someone got hit by, what is it, Enfeeblement? The spell that basically turns you into a fucking potato mentally?
Feeble mind.
Feeble Mind. Someone may have gotten feeble-minded because he couldn't tell where the keys were even though they were labeled keys. Yes, I can.
Okay. I don't feel like that's correct. Why don't I feel like that's correct?
Hold on, let me click this button real quick.
Because it wasn't correct. Okay. All right. So, as Lily does begin incanting the spell, after a few seconds, you say, "Well, I do assure you I'm quite all right." He begins to say something, but he trails himself off. And as he does so, 1 second. That's the wrong token. All right. As he does so, you do feel a strange sense of uneasiness, but after a second, Lily will rest a hand on your shoulder, Emmett, and you can go ahead and give me a sense motive roll.
At her?
Yes, at her.
Yes.
Okay, that's more than enough. she will say, he does not seem to be ailing from anything magical.
Gives
But,
me the oh shit stink eye.
I'm going to send something to you.
All right. I see why you said Lucian would have been good in this situation.
Lucian's good in every situation. Honestly.
Except when he's cornered by the butcher.
Oh yeah, except when someone's fighting him in melee, he loses that.
Fighting him in melee and mischance if they are outside of 5 feet, and
Yeah.
also had snuck past the entirety of the rest of the party.
Well, specifically, if he's just caught in melee fights, yeah, he's not in a good position.
Oh. Emmett will look at the dude and sense motive the dude again. Does this count as in battle at this point with Emmett's?
I'll allow it. To confirm and then to put perhaps a bit more on at ease your fears, he will. He does seem that he might have been trying something, but after a moment will hand over a key to you. Here's the key. I need to see how dinner is progressing. I am feeling a bit starved.
All right, Lion. Emmett's going to go ahead and as soon as dude leaves the room, I'm going to make a sleight of hand check. I don't know if that needs to be in secret or not. For his dagger to be constantly ready.
You can do it in secret.
Okay. I don't think Emmett is trained in this, but
all right. Meanwhile, hopping back to the kitchen, Gorstag has been butchering. Numerius has been talking with Victor. Victor, we'll admit he's learned to duel mostly from studying under Jacob. Jacob is a prodigious duelist himself. He is a fencer, he is a duelist, and he is actually a practitioner of a strange, somewhat foreign dueling concept.
Which is?
Ayajutsu.
Gun kata.
He would have to have studied under the dwarves. The dwarves are real good at gun kata.
Which basically involves smack you with gun, shoot you with gun.
Yep.
Yeah. Specifically with blunderbusses.
Blunderbuss gun kata sounds horrifying.
Yes,
I mean,
it does.
That's a fact.
You know what would be even more hilarious? Combine that with steel. Just take their shit, put it in the gun, and shoot them with it.
No, what you do first is you disarm them so they bleed, then you smack them, then you shoot them.
But yes, Lord Jacob himself learned from a private tutor who has, who informed him of the arts of Ayajutsu, which he has been blending into the traditional duelist fencing that nobles of the Vale are common to practice. No. Victor has picked
will
up.
be pressing for names and such if Victor remembers.
Victor himself was not working here when Jacob was a child when he would have been trained, but as if to speak of the devil and the devil shall appear, Lord Jacob will enter the room. How is dinner coming along, Victor? I'm feeling a bit famished. Victor will say, we were just talking about you and your youth, and dinner does seem to be coming along well. And he will gesture to Gorstag, who has basically been butchering the boar quite efficiently. He has been a great help in this. He is quite the adept butcher, it seems. He saved me perhaps even an hour or so of work just with all of this.
Gorsteg like you, Zach.
Jacob will smile at that and chuckle. Well, for what it's worth, I don't personally find much enjoyment in the axe, but to each their own weapon, and he will pat a rapier at his side that he was insistent on carrying with him. We all have our own personal choice of weapons.
Emmett will, from where he's standing, gesture towards Nihilus for him to come over.
All right. What do you need,
And
Emma?
he'll whisper, "We need to go check down the basement. Jacob just tried to use magic on me, and he was trying to stop me from going down there. There's something important down there." He will whisper.
No, this is why you don't trust nobles.
And then, if Nihilus chooses to follow, we will head down to the basement.
Look, I'll follow you because you need someone other than Lily to be with you there.
Before we get to you guys going downstairs, Lord Jacob will say, "But you were talking about me in my youth? Whatever did you want to know?"
Particularly who taught you swordplay. It is something of a passion of mine.
They were two charming elves. I think they were foreign, but I'm not certain. Elves are a bit odd to me, I will say. But,
Do you happen to remember either of their names?
he pauses for a moment. I'm actually going to make a check to see if he does remember. Alright, yes, that's your bonus. Maybe falls under that. So, I don't fully recall, but I know that one of them started with a D, though it did sound very foreign.
Dear.
Oh yes, that may have been it.
Wait, really?
It seems like it. I don't seem like it. It rings a bell, and I feel something towards it, but I don't know if that was the name exactly.
The plot thickens.
Sin.
Well, if it is, or if they are the same elves, I would like to inform you that they are alive and well.
Oh, that does not surprise me. The elves are a very long-lived people. But you've run across them yourselves?
Yes.
Quite recently, actually.
He pauses for a moment. The question I'm about to ask might seem a bit queer, as it were, but were both of the elves male?
No.
He smiles a little to himself and says, Well, perhaps it was the same ones, perhaps it wasn't. I'm not sure. I never pried too much into their lives. But, yes, they taught me some of the dueling. Others I learned from my father.
Would Numerius know who this man's father would be?
Yes, it would be, it would be Lord Jacob Lemon Sr. No,
Lemon?
Junior. Lemon. Lemon.
Yeah, okay.
Junior.
Lemon?
This one that you're dealing with right now is the third. People in the Vale the nobles in the Vale seem to like to name their children the same thing. Probably because it's easier to remember.
What's easier to remember than your own name? A slight modification.
Gonna press that button just in case I remember.
He'll say, yes. Yes, well, my father did teach me the basics, but there came a point where my own skills surpassed his, so he hired some tutors for me. They had a particularly interesting series of skills, some of it that I've never seen before. At some point, if you like, I might be inclined to show you some of my style if you're interested.
I see
That's on board.
what?
And as this is going on,
Joy.
Numerius, wow. Nihilus, Emmett, and Lily, you can unlock the door to the basement.
Alright, I'm gonna get my bastard sword out.
Just to make sure I have in fact actually knocked a whistling arrow for the first time.
Okay.
And you said the floorboards are made of wood, right?
In the house, yes.
Okay, good. That's what I was hoping.
So you can pull back the door and reveal the stairwell that leads down to the cellar. It is a bit steep at first, and then it gradually levels out once you get under the building proper.
How dark is it down there?
All of us have dark vision.
Yes.
I forget that you two have dark vision, especially Lily. I forget that Lily specifically has dark vision.
She also happens to have the ability to create light.
Yeah, but that won't be necessary.
Yes, it is almost entirely unlit down there. The light filtering in from having opened the bulkhead doors is generally the only light there is. As you descend downward, you do begin to see numerous barrels off to the side. The actual basement itself spans almost the entirety of the size of the house above. There's barrels likely full of preserves, alcohol, various other things. But you notice something peculiar.
Hmm?
Well, I'm just going to reveal the map of the basement.
How big? How
Oh,
large is this? Okay, it's not that.
blood altars.
Oh.
Lily is on the steps for a moment and just sort of gasps silently.
No, that doesn't surprise me the slightest.
She looks around. What the hell is going on down here?
Emmett looks back at Lily, kind of worried. Can you see any magic that's going to activate within the next 3 to 4 minutes?
She looks around, incanting the spell again. And after a moment, will say, "There's only faint, lingering magics here. Nothing that will come to life."
Kind of magics.
Emmett will turn around, knock an arrow into his bow, and walk upstairs.
Before that, she will quickly make her spellcraft roll. If I could find her spellcraft bonus.
Should be plus 10, if I remember correctly.
It is plus 10. So let me. Alright, Lily. Do me proud.
Woo!
Okay.
Really damn good, actually.
She learned from watching Lucian make all of his spellcraft checks.
She
Well,
learned.
Lion can actually roll mages, he just can't roll archers.
Oh, that would be kind of cute if she started taking after Lucian and his magic.
Cute, I would find disturbing.
Well, not the creepy book part.
Before Lucian. Wow, thank you guys. Before Emmett starts stepping upstairs, she will say, "We need to be careful. This is blood magic, quite literally."
Oh, Tyler's dead.
Yep.
So I'm gonna look at him. Look at her. Does this aura match what you saw on Jacob?
That's the strangest thing. I didn't see anything on him other than the spell he tried to cast. She pauses for a moment. He tried to cast Dominate Person on us.
He did? He tried casting on you too?
Yes, when we were looking for the key.
That's Emmett will draw an arrow. That's enough evidence for me. Let's figure out what the fuck is going on.
Blood magic, blood magic.
Knowledge religion?
Lucian! Oh yeah, wow, Lucian. Wow, brain. Nihilus. Yes, you can give me a knowledge religion, but you can also give me a wisdom check. I'm going to spoil something. The wisdom check is very low DC.
Okay, then I'm gonna go for the wisdom check.
I mean, the religion check will also help.
I mean, I'll do both. I did not roll well at all.
I think you passed the wisdom DC if that's what I'm thinking it is.
You did. You remember something from your strange childhood.
Oh.
Yes. A story that someone important to you once told you.
Alright.
The story of Velica and her father, who was a vampire.
I'm guessing this has something to do with the blood magic in that story.
Oh, almost certainly.
Well, what are the details of that?
She and her father don't see eye to eye, mostly because he is a vampire and she is pseudo amongst the living.
She's a Dompier.
Yeah, I
Yes.
specifically made her a Dompier.
Yes, she is a Dompier. She does recount in one of the many stories she told you that make other people question how she could have been a mother figure for anyone.
Hey, look, me with Var, we don't hold shit back like that. We're not saints.
Yes, but child services might have questions for her later.
Yes.
But yes, she did recount the tale of something her father once or twice attempted, which was blood magic to create vampires without turning them himself. To try and circumvent certain other things that were going on in his life.
Like the AIDS epidemic.
Possibly. But what really sort of clicks is Lily mentioning dominate person, the blood magic here, and the fact that you haven't seen Jacob anywhere near sunlight.
Alright.
Plus person.
Yeah, we need to stop him. That guy's a vampire.
Emmett will cautiously put his arrow back and pull one of his... It's silver, right, with vampires?
Yeah, silver passes their DR.
Okay, then he will pull one of his silver arrows out.
Yeah, it's very similar to a story that the priestess told us. Mother Velica told us about her father, and well, he was a vampire. So this lines up with that story. Though it's not the same person, same effect.
Gorstag will color in his axes with a silver Sharpie.
Well, you're not there, Ghoster.
I just imagine him doing that middle of combat, just taking a Sharpie out and just drawing on the axes.
He writes the word silver on the axis.
I'm gonna set there.
He hits the enemy. Somehow it still bypasses DR. What?
You said there's a window in the kitchen, right?
Yes.
All right. Emmett will look at Nihilus. You guys go in through the front. I'll try to get them from outside.
All right.
And then I will go ahead and make a stealth roll as soon as I leave the... Stealth is supposed to be secret, right?
Yes.
Okay, I will then... What is that bonus real quick so I can make it in secret? 10. Yep. And it will... Metal Gear Emmett.
Going through the front door over here, yeah.
So I could technically the side door, but you know.
Well,
I
side
get
door,
what you're
front door, whatever.
Alright, so you guys are currently talking, in the kitchen. You've had your little exchange about all of these things. And as it stands, Lord Jacob stops himself in the midst of a sentence that he was about to start and say, I do believe your friends are about to return.
It would seem so. I didn't even see them go out.
Oh, yes, they were investigating something. Something about something magical. I'm not certain. And at this point, Nihilus, you can open the door if you so desire.
All right, we're back. What did Emmett want us to do exactly?
Be in the room. It will become blatantly obvious.
All right. The two of them dragged me around for their investigation.
The window's right here, right?
Yes.
And we did find something. Sin specifically, I'd like to ask you for something here.
Sure.
Pertains to our Lord's condition. It actually, we actually figured out how to cure it. If you use your magical healing, your positive energy on him, it will actually get rid of what's ailing him.
Sure. And then, without really even asking or thinking about it.
Do it. Just cast it. See, the reason why I told you is because our Lord's a vampire.
This is initiative. I will allow you to keep that spell and use it for when your turn comes around. However, as soon as he started to implicate using positive energy, he knew the ruse was up. Because his sense motive is a plus 16.
I mean, wait.
Can you beat a 26?
She's taking him at his word. Like, she's just
no,
doing
I
it like...
cannot be a 26.
Yes. I get that Sin is taking him at his word.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a case of Lord Jacob at this point has realized what's going on and is going for his rapier.
Okay.
That's... Why was combat music?
You will still be able to use that roll for you, as, everything starts to sink in. However, the punching is about to begin.
You did not expect me to just say to do that, did you, Liam?
So much. Emmett's just like lining up the sniper shot on him. He's, God damn it!
Hey, you told me to go into the room. You didn't tell me not to say anything. You need to be specific, man.
All right. So, Numerius, you happen to be in front of the closest door he can safely extricate himself from the situation with. Which means, unfortunately for you, you fall victim to his need for this first attack.
But at least he doesn't get bonus damage from you being a scapegoat.
Hopefully.
No. But he does get Fatal Thrust and Sneak Attack as he goes in with his rapier. He will, I believe... Oh, that's a natural 1. That goes in...
Oh my god, he just misses.
Now, the good news is that he's going to lose his martial focus. And here's some... to give you an idea of some of the bad stuff. That would have been 18 blade damage for the first round.
I think that would have just knocked him unconscious immediately.
As he goes in for a quick thrust against your jugular, Numerius, his blade from the rapier actually catches on part of the wall, managing to just prevent him from getting you in the neck. Because if that wooden hadn't stopped him, he would have gone straight for it. And in a blinding flash, the rapier is drawn. Sin, as you're starting to process things, your heal spell is going off. You will get a will save. What is your DC?
It is...
You would be
15.
able to 5-foot step into here as to not risk provoking.
Yeah, she's not going to provoke because of the speed of which everything that's happening right now.
We just hit high noon showdown. Everyone draws their guns simultaneously.
Yeah.
Well, Nihilus had his Master Sword back.
Oh my god, that's fucking hilarious.
Oh, he rolled bad.
He's goddamn awful at will saves.
Oh.
Look, Nihilus, so, real quick, can I make a sense motive check to see if Victor is actually a vampire or if he's just...
You can give me a perception roll if you would like. Or sense motive.
Sense motive is much better, 26.
He is definitely not a vampire, however, he is at least aware of Jacob's condition, and if not complacent in it.
It's either he could also just be under the effect of a spell too.
That's what I was like. It's kill Jacob if Victor tries to attack us afterwards. Kill Victor.
Oh, I can hurt Victor. I can't really hurt Jacob too much.
Does Sin have anything else she wishes to do as she realizes what's going on?
Yeah. She says, "Don't fucking move," and then she takes out her Lucerne hammer.
All right. Lily is going to cast Ablation on Numerius.
That's a good fucking idea.
It is. Victor will draw his rapier and will attempt to feint Sin for a fatal thrust.
Aha. Oh, that just barely gets past it.
Is it
Way to pull a Coraline.
Or is it reusing passive insight?
It's the same thing.
Passive. Yeah, it's passive insight or the regular one that you would have. Like if you don't have insight or if you don't have sense motive, it's BAB plus wisdom mod plus 10. So in her case, I know she has sense motive, and that's going to be better than her BAB plus wisdom mod. So he will go in for the rapier. You're denied your dexterity, not that it really matters. And he will score a fatal thrust.
And buckle some squash.
Well, I was gonna say that didn't matter, but I forgot about the extra damage.
Mm-hmm.
It manages to slip under her armor and skewer her arm.
Victor will say, "My lord, you need to get out of here."
His lord stares. No shit, Sherlock.
I've got Victor. I've got the pansy servant. You get Lord.
And we're going to move and do a fun amount of things here, which is where's my channel smite? We're gonna channel this. Well, actually, we're gonna do attack because channel smite is a swift action. Vampiric strike. Imbues his blade. Oh, wait, I have to make an attack.
Yes,
Yeah.
you actually have to do the attack.
I thought Vampiric Strike was the attack plus everything.
No,
they
it's
did.
just the added effect.
Right. Well, I'll just get rid of the negative energy if it misses.
That will hit.
Okay, so then that plus that negative energy plus that negative energy.
27 damage and 7 temporary hit points.
Mm-hmm.
Only to find out that Victor is actually a Dampier and just stares at you. No, I'm being sarcastic.
No, he is very definitely shaken by this onslaught as he sort of loses his footing.
As I say, focus, Jacob. I got the pansy servant. Also, where is? I did not actually get that temporary hit points.
No, you're gonna have to put it in yourself.
Right.
So Emmett, you're free to say that Emmett wouldn't know. Would a silver arrow hurt a vampire more, or a holy water arrow?
Give me a general knowledge check. If you have knowledge, just roll it. If not, have an intelligence roll.
I have knowledge nature.
Just give me an intelligence roll then.
That's what I figured. Oh, I forgot there's a button I can press for that.
You're not sure. Probably the holy arrow.
Okay,
Or
so
the holy water arrow.
This is with a holy water arrow.
Okay.
Boom! Ignore the bleed damage. And then
Come on, Holy. Do some good damage, Holy. Okay.
He's going to attempt to cut the bolt from the air.
Does he even know of Emmett's? Does he have to be aware?
He does, and he is.
Huh.
Emmett's just gonna look at him. You motherfucker!
Clever trick, but I'm far more clever. And he will cut it out of the air with his rapier.
You motherfucker, I spent like 5 silver on that arrow.
And Emmett
And then it's 50 other brothers.
will pull his dagger out.
He actually spent no money.
That's not a door.
Oh,
Yeah, there's not a door here.
no,
You would
I
have
thought
to go through this window.
So he's not gonna do that then.
You have multiple attacks. You can just like shoot Victor.
No, that was a snipe.
Oh, okay.
You
you have tension.
Instead, make it will move around the building.
He wants to be in a position to use his tension
Right.
efficiently.
Right.
And then I can-
Numerius.
I'm at 2 tension right now.
Hey, Marius, this guy, you want to just...
Marius, you're standing right next to a vampire. How do you feel?
How do you plead?
Numerius is going to turn his hands into claws and slash at this man. Fuck. There we go.
Oh, that's cool.
You are lucky that he did not succeed on his set of attacks. Because he can't parry that. He unfortunately has to take it. And the claws dig into his flesh, rending him a bit. And he seems to be a bit unfazed by it.
So he does not bleed?
He does not. Actually, he does bleed, because he's a vampire.
Vampires
That's right.
bleed?
Yes. Vampires are one of the few undead that do bleed.
Huh.
Because they're literally made of blood.
Right.
Numerius will state aloud to both of them, stand down or by order of the Marquis you will be executed.
Though, if I remember correctly, vampires are immune to fatigue, right?
Yes.
Right, okay.
His fatigue earlier was a special case.
Okay.
Yes.
In the basement, there wasn't a coffin, was there?
No.
So either it might be somewhere else in the house or outside the house somewhere.
Gorstag.
Gorstag can 5-foot step and flank, if he so desires.
Which way would be flank? Here?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Does the special
Fortunately-
axe do anything special to a vampire?
It does, actually. Gets to bypass most of his DR. And as you get in, the axe does seem to have an extra effect against him, causing him to lose a bit of color around where the wound landed. He looks at the wound. He looks at the wound and then back to you, Gorstag, and just goes, "Oh, that was a mistake."
No, it wasn't. And then, oh wait,
Oh,
before
yep.
that, right on the back of the head.
He does manage to definitely dodge out of that, but he is further incensed by it. And he will go ahead. I would say he would attempt to feint Gorstag, but his bluff's pretty fucking high, so I don't think he can fail. Yeah. And he's going to go for a fatal thrust and sneak attack against Gorstag, trying to get some bleed onto him.
He can't fail against Sin.
Where is my thing? He will go for a rapier hit. Does a 17 hit your AC denied dexterity?
Denied deck?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're flat-footed, yeah. All right. He will do that, and then hold on a moment.
He did lose his martial focus last time.
Yes. So he will not be able to increase the bleed any, but he will get the fatal thrust and sneak attack. Wow, dice! Thank you for
So.
betraying.
Yes, that's a nice roll there.
So
26 damage and then 2 bleed, which will be at the beginning of your next turn. Okay. I just nope. Right. The heal macro applies to fatigue state.
He would be bleeding regardless.
Yes, but I was taking care of something else.
The healing from the damage that he dealt.
Sin.
Sin is going to envelop herself in healing light. Receive healing 18. And then she is going to try to sneak through to here.
Okay.
Does he take any attacks of opportunity? Either of them?
Victor will, and I'm going to do that one first because it's comical and he's penalized. This will be one lower than it says.
Huh.
Ow.
Well, he hits.
Oh god, that's a critical.
No, possibly a critical, yeah. It's not.
That's a 16, so it does not confirm, thankfully. Jacob actually will not take an attack of opportunity, and in the midst of combat will turn to Victor. Not her.
That was a
Yes.
mistake. Gorstag
Gorstag-
and Jacob.
Gorstag's just gonna chuckle as she repeats what he says.
He
It's like,
gets to make a will save.
oh, she got you.
He needs to keep all of his attack of opportunities to stop the archer from fucking filling him full of DR piercing arrows.
That is true.
Sin, what is your DC?
15.
Alright, he will only take half.
That's
This
still,
time he didn't fucking flub it.
that's still 12 points of positive energy damage. It's still not
Yes.
bad.
It
Can we
is.
tell any point of damage on this guy?
Not easily. He does have a few wounds that are trickling blood, but it doesn't
it's-
seem like you can get a read on.
So it's not that he's not wounded, it's just that we cannot tell.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Lily is going to cast Ablation on Gorstag. Victor. You know what? Victor's a clever man. Victor knows this house better than anyone else. He will retreat. Or withdraw. That's,
Are there any windows in that room?
no.
Damn.
Fuck, man.
He's
Okay.
fucking fast.
Well, I'm
Not
sorry,
bad
my
at
lord,
all.
but I've got to get the fuck out of here.
Nihilus.
Oh well, I mean, Emmett can take care of him. It's fine.
Does anybody know where he went?
running.
Where did he go? Did he just like?
I have removed the token because no one has line of sight on him right now.
That 5-foot step towards the Lord. And then we're just going to hit him with a normal swing.
Boop.
Unfortunately,
I assume it
yeah.
misses.
Yes, he is unable to, or he is able to catch it without parrying, but catches it with the hilt of the blade.
Yeah. I'm not buffed right now.
Emmett's gonna move here. Can he see the guy?
No, he cannot right now.
So he will move here,
All right.
and I'm
now
assuming
you're-
now he can.
Yes.
And he will sit down and start notching an arrow because I'm assuming this dude just can he sense motive to tell if he's just booking it?
Oh, you can give me a sense motive roll. Oh no, he's coming for you.
Figured. And Emmett will use his last 10 movement to move 10 back.
Okay.
Also, Emmett will go, "You should have climbed out the window, dumbass."
Okay. Anything else?
I mean, you have a point there. You did just blatantly shoot through the window at Jacob.
Yeah. Oh, so it's Numerius' turn.
Okay. Numerius.
You sure you
Jacob
wanna
is
transform?
bleeding, yes?
Yes.
Then these will be disarm attempts.
Mm.
Unfortunately, neither of those will connect.
Man, we roll like shit.
He's able to keep a hold of his weapon right now.
All right, core stack.
Anything else from
Fuck
Numerius?
you, dice. No.
Okay. That you have abnormally bad luck with dice.
At least with the cipher system, it won't be so bad.
Oh,
Well, shit.
that was a crit with the good one.
Yep.
Jesus.
Well, shit, son. You about to get Gorstag.
He's gonna take a nasty hit to his torso. The wound that rakes across it just loses all color as blood begins to flow out of his body and into the axe.
God,
He
27.
reels back, just realizing what's going on and deciding that now's the time to press his advantages.
In other words, turn into mist and fucking run.
You're partly right. Sort of. Not again. Wow, you all have similar sounding names, and it is kind of annoying sometimes.
Nihilus, Numerius, and Gorstag.
Yeah, Gorstag is the outlier.
Hey, he always tells the truth.
Oh my god. Numerius, what is your CMD?
15.
Oh, good.
You ever been fucked in the ass before?
I refuse to answer that.
No, I wasn't asking that as a pervy joke. I meant like you are about to get fucked in the ass.
What is the check to move through someone's square? Ah, it's only DC 20 for him right now. Okay.
It's acrobatics, though, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
But he's a fucking vampire duelist. His acrobatics is plus 19, probably.
It's acrobatics that I think still provokes unless he makes his second acrobatics check.
Oh yes, he's going to make a lot of acrobatics checks here in a second.
He succeed.
This whole room.
Oh god. Alright, so we're going to start with the one against Gorstag. I gotta find his bonus again. 12, 15.
I think unless he rolls a 1, we can't hit him.
Alright, this is against Gorstag. He will slip away without provoking from Gorstag.
Lion, at
Yes.
this point, you do not need to make any more rolls, as because they are skill checks. He cannot fail them.
Yeah, he cannot fail them. They're skill checks.
He leaves the room.
Yeah, he just
Oh
leaves the
yeah, he
room.
does.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah.
Pathfinder 2 makes it so that there's at least margin for errors.
He will get to there.
Oh shit.
Does so. He's gonna go in for a feint against you, Numerius.
Alright.
He gets to do fun things. Mainly, feint is a free action. He almost rolled 2d20 because I started typing wrong.
I mean, it might as well be
Yeah.
2d20.
Alright, and he will go for his rapier.
Which will miss.
My god, he's rolled a 1 and a 2 against you, Numerius.
Look, he has to be shit at something against me.
Numerius Vampire Bane.
His bad
At
luck
least
is
Sin can
spreading.
still heal the guy.
At the last moment, Numerius catches the man's feint and is able to turn his neck just enough so that the rapier pierces his collar instead of his throat.
Sin.
It's kind of a shit situation. Because I can't get through.
You don't need to get through. You can just heal.
Yes. But we almost died
That's
last
so
time. I
not
just
invented.
willy-nilly used all my heals.
You do also have my spell points.
That's true.
Yeah, that is true.
Just use his spell points.
Just literally take them. I need like 3 ever.
You can have Gorstag spell points too.
Lion, I literally was just gonna walk upstairs and pull the blinds on his room.
Alright.
Which would have been hilarious. Also, it's midday, right?
It's about 4 p.m., going on 5 p.m. right now.
Can't leave the house.
He rolled a natural 1 on that will save.
Yeah.
You can't leave the house.
Sin, you did it. You did it. You brought him to the 1 hit point.
If a vampire's killed by positive energy, are they killed for real? I can't remember their specific quantities.
They still...
If I had used my blessing.
Lily...
She's gonna
do
kill
something.
Steel.
Can you teleport him into... Hold on, real quick, Lion, I have a question.
Yes.
Is there any movement in this water?
It's funny you should ask that. There's this tiny stream that leads...
Yes! Yes!
You're
Good
not
enough.
the first person to think of that. Let's make a spellcraft roll.
Does Lily know about that flaw?
She is banking on it either way.
Vampires die if thrown into streams of into bodies of running water.
Jacob, you and I need to talk about your will save modifier.
Did you just teleport him into the stream?
Lucian, are you? Wow, Emmett, you are standing outside right by the pond, and all of a sudden there's a splash, and then a horrendous sizzle.
And screaming.
Yes, he's not quite dead yet because he gets a turn to act. Victor, still not quite noticing that Lord Jacob has done that. We'll say, well, that would be the case if I weren't blindingly fast, and he will faint and stab you.
Hi!
He's actually not going to faint you, but he is still going to stab you anyway.
Okay, so he
Oh, that's a natural 20. That does not confirm, I don't think. That's actually, this is a 17 because he charged.
He's still... Shit, do we have the deflection that Lily's been giving? I don't know if that was permanent or not.
Only Gorstag and Numerius right now.
Okay, so that did crit, so it's 7 to wounds?
Yes.
Hold on, let me heal 7 and then take 7 to wounds, and then kill both of them in the most hilarious way possible. Is dude prone in water?
Yes, he is prone.
Damn it!
That's such a weird thing, though, being prone in water.
Nihilus. Lily walked up towards there, saw the man, incanted a spell, and drew a chalk diagram around herself. And then there was a pop sound and a splash heard outside.
And then scream.
I'm just gonna head outside because I'm hearing the screaming.
Okay. The vampire is currently submerged in water and also flailing about.
All right, we're gonna channel negative energy and select. Even though Jacob's not within range, I'll still select him for not being hit. And
Okay.
Emmett's not gonna get hit. And fuck it, Sin gets hit if it really matters that much. But we're gonna try and get Victor.
Aw. Alright, he will take the damage.
Does it blink die?
No, he does get a will save. Victor, you have a worse modifier than Jacob, and you roll better on your will saves.
What do you roll?
He rolled a 17 with a plus 0.
Yeah, he made it, so it's only 3 damage.
Yeah, I gotta refund him 3 points, because I did the full damage, and then I remembered he gets a save.
Does
Alright.
Gorstag take damage?
No, Sin does.
The likelihood of Emmett being crit twice?
Because she can heal
low.
herself and everyone else. Like, you're
Emmett
taking
is
that
going
much
to
damage.
just walk 10 feet away.
He will take the attack of opportunity.
Can I make an acrobatics check just to, like... try
Oh,
it out?
yeah, you can.
I'm assuming that failed. He's also a dex maniac.
Hang on. The thing on his token is wrong. It's still using his strength modifier. Because it almost passed, but then I remembered that he uses his dex modifier for...
So that's 7 damage.
Yes, it is 7 damage.
I'm going to... I moved 10 feet, so I gain attention. I'm going to just send a shot at Victor with part of the barrage. So the first shot is at Victor, the second shot is at Jacob.
Well, it hits.
These are with the holy water arrows, just because fuck you, Jacob.
Ignore the dead state right now. You'll have to follow through here in a moment, but you're also going to...
By doing all the other shit, like cutting his head off and all that 12-step process.
Yeah. Victor, what?
Is Victor alive?
Jesus, Victor. Victor is still alive.
Victor gets shot again. This time with the thistle arrow, because he's human!
Yay,
Shit.
Nope.
tension. Oh.
3 tension. That is at a 11. It's still at 11. I take a -1 to hit from being 50, but it's a +1 because they're within 30 feet. So
Yep. Unfortunately, 11 will not hit the man, as he deftly moves out of the way. Numerius.
Would Numerius have any idea about this room?
You likely saw it, so you can piece it together reasonably, yes.
Fantastic. I'm going to move that way and try to jump out of the window.
Give me a strength check.
You shoulder check the window.
Fuck you, dice.
Emmett just looks at the window as
Yeah,
Numerius.
it's just-
Ah! Bonk.
It's just a moment of dull thud. It stops you only in the regard that you realize you can just dive out of the window and finish your movement.
Okay.
Does he take 1d3 damage?
He takes 1d3 points of damage to his pride. You have 3 points of damage to your pride.
Pride vitality wounds.
So, Victor. Hello. Is he bleeding?
That's a damn good question. I'm gonna go with yes.
Are you
Fantastic.
bleeding?
Numerius
Yeah,
will
you
first
bleeding.
attempt to disarm him. Fail.
Nope.
And then, you know, fuck it, just go for the throat.
Nope.
Dice! Fuck you!
He is
That's been
apparently
happening a lot lately.
he is apparently very good at dueling.
Hold
He's
on.
He's not good enough to withstand what's about to happen to him. But you know,
What was
of course
the
that-
last decent roll I had?
the
Probably the
17 right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've
So
been
we're
getting
coming out of
dust.
this window, right?
That's
Door, yes.
Okay. So out here, over to our friend.
That's two
Yeah,
movements.
it was 2 turns ago, it was a 17 on my second attack.
Let's see, so
Can you throw? You're
that's
gonna-
within my running distance. Could I charge him?
No. Unfortunately, you have to
Charge has
charge
to
in a
be
straight line.
0.8
Your
point.
movement speed is 30 feet, right?
What?
40.
Your movement speed is 30 feet, right?
My movement speed is 30. Yeah.
Yeah. May I suggest running 30 feet out and then throwing an axe at his face?
Sure. Can hit from here probably.
Yep.
And just Earl one.
It's just... You know what, Victor? Catch it. Catch it with your face.
Emmett just goes, huh?
You know what? He catches it
Emmett's-
with his
Emmett's
face.
sitting in that in-between space between them. The axe just kind of bows, comes around, and just plunk. He's like, how do you do that? What if Gorstag tell you axes don't fly straight?
What if Ghost Dog tell you? They are boomerang axes.
Emmett's going to stare at the screaming vampire in the river.
So yeah, no, he is actually just going to get ashed.
He
Right.
gets
Oh, I was gonna say if he wasn't dead yet, Gorstag was gonna go out and just keep dunking him over and over again until he died.
Get dunked, kid.
So he
Oh, no.
turns to ashes, right?
Yes.
and his
Is he,
gear
like-
is still there.
Is he actually dead?
Yes.
Oh yes, he is 100% actually factually
Alright.
dead.
Vampires have a weakness to running water.
All right.
And also being exposed to sunlight. You're in the middle of summertime, and it's 5 p.m.
Alright.
And being stabbed with axes.
Emmett's other plan was to go, oh shit, and then he has a bag of caltrops. And throw it at his face. And laugh.
There's a moment of pause.
Nihilus claps his hands.
And it
That's
walks
a
over to
vampire
Lily,
down.
high five.
Numerius will turn his hands back to normal and prestidigitate blood off of him.
There is a lot of blood.
Emmett will high five Lily.
She will confusedly high five him back.
How deep
He's
is
like,
the water?
Come on, we just killed a vampire together.
That's true. The water is only about 4 feet deep at its deepest. It
Oh,
appears
okay.
to
So we
have-
can just walk through it, right?
Yes,
All right. I want to
except for Sin.
except for Sin. But you know that's why the doggy paddle exists. I I wanna get everything that was
5 GDT.
Oh my god.
I want to grab everything that is still left off the guy.
In addition to Noble's clothing and signet rings and Noble's jewelry, there is one thing of note, which is his. I was looking at the wrong loot sheet. Which is his rapier. Go ahead and give me a blacksmith check.
All right.
This is a mithril rapier.
Huh. Mithril. That's
Sounds like
pretty rare.
Marius has another plaything.
Huh.
It is exceedingly well balanced, well made, and likely cost a small fortune.
Real quick, does Mithril do anything different in your world as compared to normal?
Yes, it does not count as silver because I actually have prices for making silver weapons because Pathfinder base doesn't. What it does is when you make a weapon out of it, it is always considered to have the finesse property.
So if you made a Mithril great axe, it would be a finesse great axe, technically.
Yes, it would cost a fucking arm and a leg, but yes.
How much mithril could I get out of it if I smelted this thing down?
Enough for another light weapon.
Yeah, let me go.
Well, I mean, rapier's it's a light weapon, so.
If I remember correctly, last time we talked about this, Lion said that weapons can be converted to anything within their size range, and you have to pay for the increase in weight of the item.
Yep.
It is a one-handed weapon. Rapiers are.
Yes.
Why would I need to pay for the increased cost of its weight if I'm the one doing it?
Because of the material that you need to add on to the weapon to make it a different weapon.
But it wouldn't cost that much.
Mithril's expensive, but give me a moment.
Well, I mean, I have the mithril though, so wouldn't it just be like getting?
No. You would need more mithril if you were going to something like if you were going from a rapier to say a warhammer. You would need.
Well, I
more
mean,
mithril.
just like if I were to use it for another light weapon.
Yeah.
You could you could turn it into a combat scabbard, another combat scabbard.
Like any light weapon, I can just turn.
You can probably go to any light weapon
without it costing. Without costing an arm and leg.
Yes.
You could make a mithril dagger, which is actually one of the best things to have around.
I will get back to you on what you can convert it to after the session, because it's going to require me to math, and I don't like mathing mid-session.
That's fair.
All right, real quick, how much is this dude's estate worth? And if also, I'm gonna go down with Lily and see what the fuck they were trying to do downstairs.
Oh, it's where he got converted into being a vampire.
Oh, so there's another bigger, badder vampire.
It's probably what those it's probably what the mysterious people were before months ago. They were vampires.
Actually,
and turned into them.
Real
you
quick.
can. Oh yes.
Do we have time to rest?
Oh yes, you will have time to rest.
Okay.
I don't think you want to push out now that you know that there might actually be vampires in the forest. One night's about to fall.
Well, on one downside, there are probably vampires out there, and you just lost a lord. Plus side is, you can give this someone. Give this to someone.
Right. So, as a note for brain keep working. You have investigated. The manor house is ballpark maybe 10 grand of GP. It's a nice estate. It would be a nice summer home for someone. It is a shit estate to have if you are a noble.
Yeah.
So effectively, we can sell it to add 10,000 gold to the accursed treasury.
Yeah, you actually happen to know someone that's looking for a nice summer home right now.
Jeremy has a house now.
Do we want to put Jeremy in a house next to a bunch of vampires that are probably still here without clearing them out first?
If you want to investigate the rest of the house, peering around through the rest of the night, what you will be able to discover is that the Lord Jacob made a deal with someone. In the notes, he doesn't name names or anything like that. However, he made a deal with someone to become a vampire. And he also documents that about a month after the menacing figures showing up, he actually just got tired of them. This is after he became a vampire. He got tired of them and decided he was going to put an end to them himself.
Oh.
So he did.
So he killed all the cultists himself and was probably
Yes.
using them as food.
So basically, there are no more people around here. At least none of those mysterious people around here. It was just him. He killed them all and ate them.
Also, there's probably not vampires in the forest then, because they
Yeah, if that's the case, if he killed them all, then yeah, that's the case. Huh.
Yes, but I mean, it's safe to not go out at night right now whilst you are making sure. However, there are a few letters investigating that do catch Nihilus's eye. A few of them have the stamp of the Dern Asylum on them.
And a few of them are in Gorstag's pocket.
Yes, actually, about half of the ones that have the Dern Asylum stamp on them are on Gorstag's pocket. In Gorstag's pocket.
Or on.
Yeah, or
Gorstag's
on.
not a one to judge.
What did the letter say?
Oh, investigating.
Gorstag can't read,
Give me the letters then.
but Gorstag find letter.
Yes, but you can't read letter, and they're from my house.
But Gorstag find letter.
Just give me the damn letter.
Okay.
Reading over them, they're most of them are just inquiries about things. What are grounds for admitting someone to the asylum? Stuff like that. General, how does this work? But a few of them begin to develop a correspondence between the person responding to them and this individual about Velica and who she is, what she does, just information about that.
All right. What does it specifically say?
It's pretty basic information. It's information that you would be able to ascertain, just in a basic conversation with her, with the exception of the fact that she is, in fact, a Dompier. She doesn't quite go around advertising that. Tends to not be good for business. Because, superstitious idiots. But it goes over that, as well as it goes over the fact that she is related to a vampire. It goes into detail about who this vampire happens to be.
Any name drops?
Reading through them in the last letter, yes, there is one name drop.
Bill Cosby.
No.
No.
Oh.
The vampire name has become smudged and is mostly illegible. However, you can make out a last name.
Is it smudged in blood?
No, it is smudged ink.
Damn. Okay, what's the last name?
The last name is... One moment. I'm real good at finding things.
The last name is Nye, as in the science guy.
The last name, comedically enough, is Summers.
Anyway,
Are you
I
sure it's
don't-
not Winters?
I'm 100% sure it's not Winters.
But
Summer.
are you sure though?
Summer.
Yes, I'm very sure.
so that was menacing figures south, right?
Yes,
So next up is the guru.
yes, it will be.
Okay.
It is. Do you have anything else you wish to do around here, or will you be heading off in the morning?
Search for loots,
Yeah.
high and lows.
Loot the place. Numerius is contemplating burning it to the ground, but
It is a
Emmett's,
nice estate.
Emmett's going to try to find the coffin.
I mean, if it was very recent, he probably didn't have a coffin yet.
No, they have to have a coffin. within a day of becoming undead.
Oh, huh.
So the clever and comedic thing is that the coffin was just hidden under the bed.
All right. Was there any extra gear under that? Because I know
No.
normally vampire. Okay. Well, he's a dumb vampire. Well, I mean, I knew he was a dumb vampire. His house was next to a fucking stream.
He's been a vampire for 4 months, guys. Cut him a
It
break.
doesn't matter. It's in the How to Be a Vampire for Dipshits book, page 1. Don't put your house next to stream. Don't have jars of rice around your house. No mirrors, and just don't live near churches.
Again, the mirror thing only counts if the mirror's glass is actually lined with silver. It only counts if it's that. Any mirror that's only made of glass.
Yes, but they
does not
don't
count.
have they don't have the ability to make non-silvered mirrors at this period.
I know.
of
I'm
time.
just pointing it out there.
It's just it bothered as a fan of gothic horror.
He hit 3 out of the 4 hit 3 out of the 4 major things to not do. He didn't have rice. He didn't live near a church. He didn't do whatever that other one was, but he happened to have a house near a river that he wasn't going to give up because it was a family estate.
At least put a dam on the river.
That
Hey,
would've
no
caused
swearing. This is a family-friendly stream.
Goddamn
God
fucking right.
damn it.
Get you fucking assholes.
Anyway,
I'm walking here.
Ass.
I'm
So you're going-
walking.
You're going to leave the estate as is and possibly do something with it later.
Burn
I
it
mean,
to the
I'm gonna
ground.
defile all the blood rituals and stuff like that. Make sure none of those are usable.
I mean, of course, I can just suck up all the blood that's down there. And hey, look, it doesn't look like a ritual
Yeah,
anymore.
Gorstag will mop up all the blood.
Just mop up all the blood, and hey, look, it just looks like a table now. Just put some nice coffee down, a book. You know,
It's not a blood ritual anymore, it's just a ritual.
yeah, just a ritual.
Gorstag's
Just
blood cleanup service.
just put like maybe half a statue, maybe a full statue. of
We'll
Saturday
deal
down
with the
there.
gore so you can deal with the stag. I don't know what that means.
God damn it.
No, that actually sounds like a hunting thing. We'll take care of the gore, and you get to keep the stag.
So, after a little bit, the group of you will be able to depart from where you are, heading to... I forgot to move you guys. Heading towards where the Kuru raids were happening. And it takes a little over another day to get there. And when you arrive, it takes a little bit longer of poking around to find a large group of Kuru. Though at first they seem like they might be preparing for a battle, one of them will step forward. A Kuru woman who, standing there, will address the group of you in common and say, "Which amongst you is the Marquis?"
Numerius will bow.
"We come to ask a deal of you."
And what might this deal be?
We would
To
ask...
take one of our daughters in marriage.
No, they wouldn't.
Do you know who's worn this glass slipper?
She'll say,
You ever drank Bailey's from a shoe?
she'll say, "We were in the midst of a talk between ourselves and another, but that individual has failed us. We ask now that you honor a deal between us. We seek to create land of our own that is designated, that your own cannot and will not take. In return, we will offer our aid, so long as you uphold these bargains, and you come to our aid when we request it."
Numerius will look over the rest of the party.
Niles just shrugs.
Gorsteg's picking his nose.
Emmett will go. The treatment of the Kuru by the people of Oak has been a blot on our reputation since we first came here. Let them have their land. They deserve it. We took it from them.
The woman will chuckle. This one knows well. You have the night to convene with your council, as we will be departing in the morning.
Very well. Either way, I expect the raids on my people to stop.
When we know that our people will have a land to call their own, the raids will stop.
Marius, if you just agree now rather than tomorrow, we can just head north and find out about those people there.
Dashing over to Wyverns, doubling back to
Oh,
Oakhurst.
are we going to the
teleporting.
Wyverns and going to Oakhurst and teleporting?
Yep.
Okay, then just agree now. That way we don't spend a day and we can head straight to the Wyverns.
Either way, I will need some time to consider possible implications.
Also, at this point, it's about probably 4 or 5 in the afternoon.
Yeah. Might be a good spot to make camp.
Yep.
Alright.
Camp with the Kuru.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Kuru, you do.
Let's party with the Kuru. Kuru. Kuru.
Oh my
So-
fucking god.
I imagine Numerius would be much more politically minded than I am. Would
Yes.
he be able to work out a fairly simple deal that is basically a you don't fuck with us, we won't fuck with you?
Yes, you will be able to come up with the terms, presented to them.
And I assume most of the terms will be looked over by Numerius's officials and people who know a lot more about politics than he does. Or not politics than he does, but like actual legal shenaniganry.
Mm-hmm.
Once the whole orc debacle is done, because I don't doubt the Kuru are actually going to take their land until the giant orc horde directly between us and their land is gone.
Yeah, that would be part of the agreement, as well as with the caveat of I will need other people to look over or to think of what we agree on to settle things.
I mean, for what it's worth, they are generally amicable about this, just, simply because they do understand the gravity of the situation and will also require, consultation amongst their own. There's probably going to be some infighting and stuff like that for a long period of time.
We're effectively creating the Kuru version of the Sioux Nation, so
Yep. They gotta
So
sort their own stuff out.
Never mind.
Was it going to be something horrible?
Yeah.
Okay. I kind of figured when you
Surprise.
stopped yourself, and I was just like, I wonder where that was gonna go.
I had a moment of self-growth.
You
Speaking
remember
of
that
growth,
this is
have we
a-
leveled?
No, you still have a bit more to go of today's session.
only 9. We've only been playing for 2 hours. It just feels like a lot longer. We added an entire half hour extra onto the session.
Yeah.
No, I just wanted to make the joke of saying, have we leveled first?
Fair enough.
All right.
I have a question. Why do they do cannibalism? Like, what occasion do they eat the flesh?
Weddings.
Actually, I think he has knowledge local.
Kids' birthday parties.
Yeah.
Family
The
reunion.
clown always tastes a little funny.
Yeah.
It's the same as knowledge nature.
Oh my god, you're all horrible people. So,
Hey, I never said the adults had to eat it. It was just the kids' meal.
oh my god, you're even worse. So, to answer your question, Sophie,
Finger licking good.
it is effectively part of their death ritual, and what I mean by that isn't something nefarious, as in the Irish have their wakes, the Catholics have their, I don't actually know, everyone at home, I'm not raised Catholic,
It's funny.
Don't they like put someone up on a cross or something?
Basically,
No, wait, that's the Jews.
the Kuru effectively probably the family of the person who died consumes a portion of their flesh to keep that person living within them.
Yes, it is. So that's the general. There are, the deranged or the fringe or the more cultish that do it for their own reasons, whether it's blood is the memory of, or blood is the currency of the soul or that stuff. But the general part of the Kuru as a people do it as a religious symbol of promising to carry on the memory of another.
Now a piece of you will be inside me forever.
Actually, yes, Tyler, that's the main justification for it.
Sin will suggest to Nemarius that anyone that is not Kuru, if they die on their lands, the Kuru honor the person who died by doing
Honor their traditions.
Yes.
That's actually something they are 100% fine with. They, as bad as it sounds, they don't want to eat those dirty foreign outsiders. That's the least, or that's the most crass way I can put it. They're not going to go out of their way to consume someone who is not another Kuru.
Unless it was like a situation of this person isn't Kuru by blood, but was like part of the Kuru tribe.
Marion, honorary Kuru, anything like that, if it is their wishes, they will partake in it, but in general, it's a religious observation that they're not keen on doing just willy-nilly.
Okay.
That's fair.
That said, they have a bite attack that makes them very hard to disarm.
It would be like that. Effectively, it would be like a Catholic person finding a hobo on the street and giving them a Catholic funeral.
Yeah, basically. But yes, you can get the generals of this worked out in the morning, and they will agree that it will take a little bit of time because information does not travel instantly.
Mm-hmm.
But they have given their word that within the next 2 months, any raids that are going on are people that are basically fringe elements and should be dealt with as such.
So Emmett will suggest as the guard captain that after a 2-month period starting from today, any Kuru caught invading a basically like caught by the guard will be executed for crimes.
For their crimes.
Yeah.
Acceptable.
The suggestion is maybe 2 months after, everything's finalized, just because information is slow, and that gives people more time to get information, saturated, but, they're fine either way.
They're probably
this
just
makes
happy
sense.
we're finally talking to them sensibly.
Yes. Which actually, they were technically not sensible because they were using raids to get people's attention, which is the dumbest way to politically get someone's attention, but we won't go there.
But we took their land.
It
I
is
guess.
literally the exact same situation as the fucking Apaches.
Oh, yeah. It's yes. It's almost like I based this off of something.
My
No, that's
Cherokee
why I
Blackfoot
was
family.
That's
What'd
why
you
I
base
knew
it
how to
off of?
handle it.
But
Oh
wait,
my god.
does that make me Benjamin Franklin?
No.
Sure, let's go with that.
We can't run out of champagne and prostitutes. I'm the ambassador to France.
Anyway,
I
let's go
don't-
kill some motherfucking dragons.
So,
Not actually dragons, though.
unfortunately, to let you all down gently, as you do arrive in the area that the wyverns are in,
They're all dead.
no. It seems as though it may have been a temporary hunting ground. As you arrive in the area and do begin exploring, you find a few abandoned wyvern dens, but most notably, you do find a single wyvern egg.
Gorsteg keep. He raised. Teach it.
Um,
Teach it to be friend.
Gorstag will Emmett will go. For once, I agree with you, Gorstag, but At least,
Gorseg's gonna look really confused for a second, like he was expecting everyone to disagree immediately. Gorseg not know what do.
Emmett,
I'm
will,
hungry.
Emmett will
Just-
pull a bag out of his backpack, put the egg in this, it'll
The-
keep it warm.
The egg is about the size of Synthenis's upper half.
Okay, so it's it's an actual. How close would it?
So like 2.5 GDT.
Oh my
Is
god.
it like a Monster Hunter wyvern egg?
Yes, it is
How
like a
close is it
monster.
to hatching?
With that, you're not quite sure. It's a weird thing with anything vaguely draconic and genetics and egg incubation periods of time. Technically, they can go dormant, so you're not sure. With the right conditions, it might probably be within a month, maybe 2.
Emmett will. Is there anywhere nearby that he could carry this to?
I mean, we're going back to Oakhurst, aren't we?
No, we're going to.
You were going to teleport to Oakhurst and then walk to the menacing figures because it would be faster that way.
Yeah, so why
we're
don't we
gonna
just-
teleport to Oakhurst?
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Gorstag and Emmett will hold the egg while the teleportation is occurring.
Before we do any teleportation shenanigans, are there like any skeletons, any bodies, like of anything being hunted, any items that may or may not be laying around from such humanoid bodies?
Searching through.
Actually,
It's not a-
Luis is going to look for something specific.
Okay.
He's going to try and find an intact scale.
All right. As you spend your moments, or you spend your time, you did come all this way out here. You probably do want something in return. Looking around, I'm not going to bother making you guys make rolls. You spend some time looking for it. Numerius, you will be able to find a scale. Looking around, there's not much in the way of appreciable things. There is the skeleton of a few wild animals here. Things that were eaten and then the carcasses left to rot and decay. Stuff like that. As well, there does appear to be a large section of wyvern hide here as well.
How much would that much hide be worth?
What could I make with that
maybe,
hide?
Yeah, maybe about 1,000 gold pieces for the amount of hide. You could fashion it into a fair number of things, though.
Can I use it in conjunction with anything?
If you get creative enough, sure.
If Gorstag throws his axe into the pond, will a lady come out with 2 axes?
No.
Did you drop a silver axe or a golden axe? What? Neither one.
Alright, so we're gonna teleport to Oakhurst. Where exactly will we be teleporting to in Oakhurst?
Probably the keep.
Yeah,
How
I
big
mean,
is this egg?
It's about the same. It's about the same size as like a halfling.
Okay, so Emmett's going to carry it with Gorstag, and we're gonna. When we get back to Oakhurst, we're going to try to find a place to put it.
just put it in one of the rooms.
Gorstag's
Oh!
just gonna take one of the blankets from his pack and wrap it up and then put it on him like a baby carrier
Emmett,
and just have the big old dragon egg hanging on his stomach.
because Emmett's going to explain that while he can't do anything with this, he knows that Rob is particularly adept at talking to animals.
Oh, good. So he can speak egg.
Gorstag pets the egg
Well,
gently.
he can't speak egg, but he can speak, or he can tame a wyvern if given enough time.
Yeah, Numerius will, I think again have another pet project for the Kuru Druid, which is how the fuck do baby wyverns do? Like,
Do.
yeah.
Left it at that. Like, how do baby wyverns do?
I like how you're going to throw Gorstag, Rob, and a druid at this problem and hope something good comes out of it.
Fucking wyverns, how do they work?
Scree.
And then as soon as we get to Oakhurst, after we put this egg in somewhere that it's good, we're going to try to sneak out without anyone noticing. Specifically Ligarius. I don't want to get chastised.
Ligarius will just notice you guys sigh and just resign himself to more gray hair for right now.
We have one, and it's irresponsible. One more thing. We'll be back in like 2 days, probably.
Oh, by the way, I'm keeping that hide. I could use that for stuff.
All right. Emmett will also let people know that there's a summer home for sale.
There's no blood anywhere.
That's not a good selling point, Logic.
Hey, I'm not saying that it's
Can
not.
I-
I'm just saying.
There's
Eric.
no blood anywhere.
Can
Eric,
I add 10,000?
Can we please create a realtor company and have shit like that listed? Not haunted. No blood anymore.
No evil ritual site. In fact, it is now a temple of Saren Ray.
Lion, can I go ahead and put 10,000 gold into the treasury?
Yes.
No longer owned by cultists.
No longer a vampire lord within the vicinity.
All right. I have to ask.
Special carrying coffin under the bed.
Oh my god. House comes with free coffin for burial later on.
Your
I
wife
have
won't
to
like
ask,
it, but she can't
Hold
argue.
on.
What will be the party's selling tag for Onscrease now?
Over on screens.
100% less blood on the wall.
It's a blank slate.
Not quite as charred as it
I'm gonna
sounded.
have to go with Sophie's. It's now a blank slate.
It's now a blank slate.
A bit of a fixer-upper.
I will say,
Living here will
Numerius
just
would.
raise your spirits.
Numerius would have prestied the fuck out of that basement.
Can we do that one? Living here will raise your spirits.
You
All
don't
right.
actually have to have prestied it. Gorstag Axe will actually have taken care of it.
Raise to the ground so you can raise it back. Alright, so we're gonna go.
Oh my god. Oh, that was horrible.
What?
No, the raise to the ground. So you
I
can
know,
raise it
I
back.
typed it.
Oh god. I wasn't. I was rubbing my eyes and I was not looking at the map.
So,
It may be a specter of its former self, but it's still usable.
So, we're going to go deal with the other menacing figures now.
No more undead dragons.
Onscrease, now with 100% less spectral dragons.
See, do you know what the best part about that is?
On screens, it'll spirit you away.
Lion, do you know what the best part is about what you just said?
Hmm.
Depending on how the person's doing math, that still might mean there are spectral dragons.
That's true.
Onscrease, don't look in the water.
No, I cleaned the water. Remember, I raised the dead out of that water.
And then I shot them.
And then he shot them because he's an asshole.
True.
So, as you begin heading northeast to the next menacing figures, the estate you're visiting is a 100% actually normal estate. No vampires, no tricks, nothing like that. Just people that are genuinely concerned. And you can give me a series of perception rolls from everyone to investigate the surrounding area.
Okay, perception roll.
Hey, I am currently ahead.
How many
Oh,
is
fuck,
a
guys.
series?
Yeah, how many is a series for each person?
For right now, just one from everyone. Oh my god, guys. Oh my
Hey.
god.
I am
We are-
tied
we're
for
good at-
second.
We're pretty decent at sense motive. We're shit at perception.
What are you talking about? Emmett's just like, it's over there.
Alright.
I'm terrible at both.
One more set of perception rolls.
Emmett points over at that direction. It's still over there.
Numerius got distracted talking.
Gorstag points over.
Gorstag points in that same direction. It's over there.
Gorsteg points in the opposite direction. Not over there.
As you begin looking around, you will fortunately be able to find a ritual site that was used by these cultists, or whatever they were. Spending some time investigating it and looking around. It was used within the last 3 months, but has since been abandoned, and it seems to have been designed to summon something. Does
Knowledge
not
religion?
fall under... Yes, I'm getting to that.
Okay.
It does not seem to fall under any traditional summoning something rituals. It's not contacting another plane, it's not summoning angels or devils or demons or any of the pantheon or any of the plethora of aligned outsiders. But it seems to be summoning something strange.
Demons.
Lily, Emmett's going to pull out his map. How far away is this from Oakhurst?
It's about 28 miles.
Oh, so it's a bit hard for Lucian to hit here on his way back.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he could. It's just like it's off the road.
It's an extra. It would only actually no. It'll only be an extra half day for him.
Yep.
Moves at double land speed and has a horse.
I don't know. We have at least the pseudo Lucian of Lily.
Yes, she will investigate it some and will confirm that they were summoning some sort of either dream entity or something that isn't part of the, in as heavy of air quotes as I can, normal spectrum of reality.
Emmett will pull out a series of pieces of paper and write down every symbol that he sees with slight breaks in them, as to not make
recreate the ritual.
Yes. And then put them in a book so that Lucian could look at them later.
Okay.
Are there any active tracks we can track people to go hunt, or?
Unfortunately, with the time that has passed since this place has been used, you will not be able to gain any actionable information such as that.
All right. How good is the mansion?
Oh no, the mansion's still occupied. It's owned by people. Yes. Yes. No. The manor is owned by another minor lord, Minor, who is the one responsible for reporting the menacing figures.
So, I have one more question. And this is just about with our treasury situation, and everything. Since we effectively can now go back to Oakhurst, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else we can do to upgrade the treasury?
With the small amount of
towards a vampire too, and then we can just
no. With the small amount of time you have left to prepare for everything and for all of that, there is nothing you can do right now except for set the groundworks for creating jobs that will likely come when the war arrives.
So, just making sure the treasury wasn't for we have to get done by the war. It's just we have to get it before we leave.
No, that's once your treasury has hit max, that is, you guys can, Oakhurst will be self-sufficient, and Numerius can appoint a seneschal and not have to worry about, economic collapse in any time he's out.
Okay. So...
Job posting 1. A moral salesman.
So...
It says here you're incredibly quick at math.
Are we just gonna kind of wait for 2 weeks and prepare now?
I mean, I've got a book.
I was not expecting us to I know you said we might get through all of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I was not expecting to get through all of it with 2 hours left.
Well, we did start half an hour early, so we already hit the 3-hour mark, which is, an appreciable amount of time for a session.
Look, Liam, this is the same guy that my character's imprisoned. Next session, when we were all fucking spending a week fucking debilitating over this shit, said, "Nah, you're free."
He made up for that today.
Today was the payoff for that gambit, finally. So
I don't know. It fucking still made me stress it the fuck out for Renadol.
as it stands right now, unless you lot have anything particular you wish to do in Oakhurst, a few days will pass before the next session begins. This will be the end of today's session. We did start early because I wanted to have, maximum time in case you guys spent a lot of time poking around in
Dorfland?
Yes, in Dorfland and also in the Manor House.
Dorfland,
Question.
magical girls and boys.
Yes.
How about a vengeance ritual?
Yes, the vengeance. That coincides
how
with...
many time or how much time will be between the beginning of next session and when we fight the orcs?
So, I've got to track time, so give me one moment. If anyone needs to take like a 5-minute bathroom break or anything like that, now is the time to do so.
Yeah, I do.
One thing to note, next session, Emmett will not be present.
Oh.
At all.
Oh, thank God.
Not even icily? Or in character?
No, he's the guard captain. So if it isn't something that requires his immediate attention, he's going to be busy teaching people how to use weapons that they're going to be wielding against giant bloodthirsty orcs.
Okay.
That is I'm completely okay with you guys running this next week without me, because I won't be able to attend anyway. And I also have a completely valid reason for Emmett just to not be there. So.
Makes sense.
And then, fun fact, I think this session was the last session with Emmett.
Oh.
More or less.
Depending on how time passes next session.
All right, so I need to... Okay, so...
I remember it's September 6th when the orcs are attacking, right?
September 8th is the tentative arrival date. The next session will begin on August 6th. It is currently...
I'm back.
August 6th. August 16th. It will currently be August 12th when you guys make it back from the menacing figures. Welcome back.
Thank you.
So there will be about 4 days between now and next session.
And how much time between then and the orcs?
20 days.
20 days.
All months are 28 days or 30 days?
28 days. So, yes, you'll be 20 days away from Invasion Day.
Would it possibly be a good idea to for Numerius to at the least begin preparing a speech for, hey, I'm a motherfucking dragon?
I think that would be good.
Yes.
Actually, within.
Yes. Start preparing that, and that would be something we could start the session on. Now, if no one else has anything else they wish to do other than send this stuff, I have to do one thing before I get to what you are asking about, Sin.
Okay.
But it requires me to know if everyone else is done with tonight's session.
Yep.
The only thing that we're doing for tonight and until something like next session happens where we actually get to do other stuff is just reading the book still. Just trying to learn more about Demodans and demons.
Emmett will be, as I said.
Yep.
I don't know if there's downtime things to increase the capability of soldiers, but he's going to be dedicating all this time to that.
Yep. All right, so you guys will have all leveled.
Shit. Okay.
Woo!
Yay.
Lion, should I bother leveling Emmett?
No, you can send me his stuff, and I can take care of him for the future. And Sin, let's go ahead and start revealing some stuff. So, for your ritual of vengeance, Einberg has moved it's unfortunately not great. And also, well, I think you know what's going.
There's a convergence happening. Guys, the butcher is here.
We had known that for a while.
I know he just bought a quaint summer home, probably.
Yes, but
But
now,
it's for sure now.
yes.
And that means he's been here for a little bit.
Has the first death happened?
Go ahead, Daxel.
I'm actually more interested in that. Continue.
Okay. Yes, the first butcher death has happened. It did not happen inside of the city proper, so no one's quite sure when it did happen because it happened in a small, cabin outside of the village, one of the frontier or one of the fringe elements. And it was an entire family of 3 individuals.
I don't suppose that there are any particularly renowned investigators in Oakhurst.
Unfortunately, there are not.
We have 2 people.
Then Numerius will find the best investigator that the militia/guard force has and say, find this man.
Hey!
The funny thing is,
It's probably Emmett.
that's Emmett.
Yeah. Well, it's Emmett or Rob, but Rob happens to be making sure the orcs don't blitz you guys.
Well, then Numerius
We're back
will...
on the Oakhurst map as our main area, right?
Yes.
Where's Gorstag's brewery?
I have not drawn it yet, but yes, he does have one.
Okay, I was like,
Numerius
you took
will...
it away?
Numerius will give Emmett a choice of either find someone else to train the soldiers or find someone else to investigate the murders.
Now, you said that something happens differently when the subjects are actually closer, right?
Yes. So,
If we pull up a map of Oakhurst City,
I will get to that particular part eventually. But right now, you have learned some interesting information. And I'm going to change one of the tokens for your oath targets.
where are the oath targets at?
They're the red outlined ones.
Oh, on the map. Okay.
She can know intent?
She can.
Oh, shit.
So,
That's what I thought. Okay. So
I do have a question.
the butcher's hunting down Lily, and not the end. That's what I thought was happening.
And
Okay.
what's your question, Axel?
First off, do we know what position Ainbra holds, whatever?
It amounts to little more than clergymen.
Fantastic. Second up question, do we know what he looks like, or close enough?
Sin does.
Fantastic.
Was he
Numerius will
a mage
have...
of any resort?
Numerius will have Synthenis basically inform all of the sergeants or whatever in the guard that man is not allowed to enter the city by order of the Marquis.
Is he a mage of any renown, Sin?
Probably
You
not
would
a
need-
mage, but I'm guessing divine caster.
Can he cast spells, is what I'm asking you.
Almost certainly.
It's not something she's sure on.
Assume he can.
Even still, spells usually, they would be known. And if he uses magic to enter the city, that's a huge red flag.
No, I think what he's saying is he changes his face to something else. And
Yeah, that's what I mean, like illusion magic. Assume he knows magic, and assume if he's searching for Sin, hunting her down, he knows illusion magic.
I think I was just connecting. What
Even still, like, Numerius will take the precautions of if he doesn't, he's not allowed to enter the city.
Okay,
And once again, Lily doesn't leave Sin's side.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yes. Okie dokie. So
Also, for those of you watching, welcome to the conspiracy theories that happens between sessions.
oh my god, you should see the amount of random 2 a.m. bullshit I post.
11.
Yeah.
It's almost every night, right? I think.
It's fairly common.
Liam theorized a way to destroy Sin on a dimensional level.
Yep.
Am I at 40?
Yay!
You know, I'll just see what my health point total is when I
So
update my stats.
I need a language to become literate in.
Guru.
Don't they not have a written language?
Oh, do you
Yeah,
already
he
know?
said literate.
Oh, why do you need literate?
Because now I can poke someone and know their language.
Real quick,
Oh yeah,
now that
If-
the game's
even-
over, we'll see you all tomorrow if you guys want to watch. It's starting a bit earlier, like we usually do on our new Monday game. Still no, or no, we do have a Wednesday game, don't we? Or do we, Axel?
Probably not this Wednesday, unfortunately. Work has been real busy.
All right,
And only getting busier.
So we got a game tomorrow and then Sunday again. See you all then. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching.
See ya.